talk. Oh, man. We got a lot to cover on the radio today. We'll be live on the radio in just over 20 minutes. And it looks like Trump has released, or at least is at the beginning of releasing, the October surprises against Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, which I'm going to cover in great detail as we go on. And also this just incredible meltdown that happened over on CNN last night. We also got to cover because things are getting really crazy over there. Really crazy. Okay, just doing a test. Oh, yeah. Welcome, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. Today I'm going to live stream the entire show in the vertical. Just so you know, in advance, I got a lot to cover, too. Oh, man, this meltdown on CNN is insane. But I wanted to talk, you know, they're still continuing with this complete bull BS story that the Madison Square Garden and this 1933 Nazi rally. Now, a couple of things about this. I mean, they still continue with that crap, right? Now, well, there's a lot to say about it. But here's a couple of things, okay? Number one, Richie the bus driver called in yesterday at the beginning of the show and made a very good point I haven't heard anybody else make. And what Richie had said was, this is not the same Madison Square Garden, which I knew that. I knew it wasn't the same building from 100 years ago. But the old Madison Square Garden was at another location. Okay, so it was a different building, another location. But regardless of that, here's the other thing. So they keep saying, Nazi rally, symbolism, Madison Square Garden. The Democrat convention in 1992 and in 1980 was at Madison Square Garden. So President Carter and President Clinton both accepted the Democrat nomination at Madison Square Garden, where they had a week, both of them, you know, the 1980 Democrat convention and the 92 Democrat convention is a week-long political rally that was at Madison Square Garden. So MSNBC and CNN and all these lunatics that are saying that this is Nazi symbolism because you're having a political event at Madison Square Gardens. Was the Bill Clinton 1992 Democrat convention a Nazi rally? Was the 1980 Democrat convention where they nominated President Carter, was that a Nazi rally too? You know, what's happened with these Democrats is they're in a panic mode, and in particular in the media. But Democrats as a whole are in a panic mode because they are losing power. They've maintained their grip on power in this country for decades through a lot of propaganda, mostly pushed through the legacy media, the traditional media, the fake, which is now what we call the fake news media, and they've lost their ability to get anything off the ground and get it going. Now, I saw someone in the chat had mentioned the comedian. You know, this is an interesting thing that came out, and Megyn Kelly talked about this yesterday. The comedian, I thought I'd never heard of him before, but I did see him once before. He was at the Tom Brady Celebrity Roast, and I went back and watched it yesterday. The guy's pretty brutal. But Megyn Kelly brought up something yesterday, and I posted 2-3 articles about this on my X. So if you follow me there, Brian Craig Show on X, you can see this. But they actually have a big problem with, oh, they gave you those?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate it.
Hopefully you can read that.
Yeah. And that's it for the whole show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he also gave me this, because there was something wrong yesterday.
Oh, okay, what was it?
That the audition wasn't booked.
On
on tellout and. So this is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I put that on at the end.
Okay.
It wasn't on the end. And then what else?
Rexcom.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. So anyway, the comedian, okay, with this Puerto Rico comment, and Megyn Kelly brought this up yesterday, and then as I said, I posted 2 or 3 articles about this on my X, Brian Craig Show on X. Apparently, in Puerto Rico, this has been going on for several years because they have corrupt leadership down there, but in particular since the hurricane, they have a major problem in their garbage landfills. Like the landfills are overflowing with garbage. They have nowhere to put their garbage in Puerto Rico, and it's a big, big thing. I'm going to go through some articles on this on the radio, and we're going to be live in about 15 minutes or so. I'm going to go through some of these articles throughout the show today about this. And the joke that he made, there was, who knew about that, right? Unless you follow that issue. So there was no, I'm not saying the guy was right, okay? His you know, he was at the wrong place, wrong time, and wrong audience for his kind of humor, okay? If you go watch him at the Tom Brady Celebrity Roast, the guy's pretty raunchy. I mean, it's insanely raunchy. But because no one knew about the overflowing landfills in Puerto Rico, there was no context for the joke. So I gotta get everything together here. Yes, welcome everyone. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. So make sure that you subscribe, guys. Okay. And of course, this nutty stuff that happened on CNN, I've definitely got to get into that. But I'm gonna. And you know, there was another, you know, that very racist joke, and maybe somebody has some context about the watermelon joke, okay? And if you notice, the Democrats did not get into the watermelon joke. Have you asked yourself why that is? Why did they not get into the watermelon joke? And I was telling my wife last night, and I haven't looked up to see who this is, but I heard that watermelon Halloween joke not all that long ago from a black comedian that I was watching either online or television. I don't remember who it was, but it certainly was. It certainly was someone that's well known because they were on television. So I can't remember who it was, and I didn't look up this morning, but I heard that joke recently. I was like, oh my goodness! But it was somebody big. It was like, I know it was a black comedian that we all know about. No doubt about that. And then there's a story which I'm not going to tease. I'm just going to do it on the radio. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. You got to wait for it. On Kamala Harris, that's pretty big. Let me. I'm pulling up the stories on the overflowing landfills in Puerto Rico. I definitely want to make sure I don't forget about those early on in the show, because as the show goes on, I may forget about those. Yeah, again, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Everyone who's already subbed, like the video. Today, I'm going to do the entire radio show today with this feed. It's going to be the same feed, and it's going to be on the long-form video. Let me find. I got several stories on this. There's one. Yeah, they're all on my... I tweeted these yesterday. Yeah, I've got 4 stories on my X about the landfill problems, and one of them is from NPR, National Public Radio. So that's the one I'm going to start with. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'll be back in just a minute. I got to take a bathroom break before I go on the air. Be right back. Yes, that was quick. So I got a lot to cover. It's a pretty big day. Oh my goodness, it's not a good day if you're a Democrat, but if you're a normal person, it's a great day. Okay, I'm going to start with on the radio. I think I'm going to start with what's going on in Puerto Rico. I think that's probably most important for me to cover when we go live on the air. Absolutely. Oh, how exciting, huh? I mean, we're a week away from the re-election of Donald Trump to the presidency of the United States. It does not get better than that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, Joe Zill, I got that one. I'm going to go through that story, the Tim Walz story. Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome, one and all. This is such an exciting time, isn't it? I mean, this is just one of the most exciting times in so far as like government and elections go, that in my life this might be the most exciting time, right? I mean, I've been following presidential elections since I was a little kid. Nothing has, I don't think, has even come close to the excitement of this, because we're going to be taking our country back from these radical, insane lunatics. Welcome from Ireland. Yeah, this incident on CNN. If by prison you mean 4 years in the White House, yes. Yes. Awesome, Veronica. Yeah, this is the last time we get to vote for Donald Trump. This is it. And we maybe get to vote for other Trumps in the future, but this is the last time we get to vote for Donald Trump himself, the man. So this is, when you go and vote for Donald Trump this time, you want to enjoy it. You want to savor it. James from Ireland, welcome to the channel. Those of you that are new, welcome. This is the most MAGA place you'll find anywhere, okay? You'll never hear me disagree with President Trump. You'll never hear me take issue with President Trump, ever. Greatest president ever. Why would you want to put him in jail? I don't understand. Is making America great again some crime? Well, I guess it is to the left. Making America great again is a crime to the left. No doubt. No doubt about that. Oh, I'm excited. I am so excited. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, this is just awesome. I mean, Trump's ahead in all the polls. He's ahead in the national polls. He's ahead in all the electoral college predictions. He's ahead in each and every one of the battleground states. You know, the entire country has been red-pilled, is what's happened here. People are sick of this. You know, this thing that happened on CNN where they kicked off the conservative guy, that is a textbook example of what people are tired of. This nonsense of calling this incredible political rally at Madison Square Garden, calling it a Nazi. People are sick of this crap. You know, from the left, and Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and the Democrats have nothing. I mean, look at Biden yesterday. Actually waited in line like a regular person to vote. President of the United States doesn't wait in line. The line waits on him, and he goes to the front. I mean, what the heck is that all about? Trying to look like Joe Sixpack there? I mean, what's going on? Oh, I gotta turn the air down. It is really hot in the studio. Perfect. Oh yeah, I am. I got a lot to cover today. This is just a great day, people. Who are you talking about? John Adams? Oh. That's right. The greatest of all time. The greatest of all time, absolutely. I mean, how lucky we are to live through the time of the greatest president in history, the unifier. You know, a lot that you're hearing about Trump from a lot of people on the campaign at different events. And this is so true. Trump is a unifier, unifying the people of this country together. Rachel Maddow and The View are a freak show minority in this country. Their views are the minority views on The View. They should change that to the minority view, because they are most definitely representative of just a small group of thinkers. Trump is the great unifier. That's why so many blacks and Hispanics are voting for him. That's exactly right, Star Child. Traffickers, drug dealers, Venezuelan prison gangs for Kamala. Correct. If by defeat you mean his victory next week, absolutely he'll accept it. Mm-hmm. By the way, all viewpoints are welcome, but no spamming, Andy. I just give you a warning. No spamming. Your left-wing lunatic, nonsensical views are welcome, but please don't spam the chat. Oh yeah, we'll be on the air shortly. That's right. We are Trumplicans. Correct. No one that's ever been president or run for president in history could get the turnout Trump did. Trump is the most popular president and presidential candidate in the history of the United States. Really, truly is. I know liberals don't like to hear that, but it is true. We've never had a unifier like this before. Okay. It's almost time. Just adjust the camera just a hair. There we go. All right. Just a couple minutes away till showtime. If by Kool-Aid you mean espresso coffee, absolutely. Well, it is Florida, right? So we love oranges in Florida. Almost showtime. This is going to be an exciting show today. If you're new, my name is Brian. I host a morning drive radio show on a whole bunch of FM radio stations, and I'll be live on the radio in just a couple minutes. And I take live calls from people that are listening to me on the radio, listening to me online, on YouTube, and all kinds of other platforms. And I'll put the call-in number in the chat. If you'd like to call in. All viewpoints are welcome, but it is, when you call in, you are on the radio, so watch your language. Okay. The top of the hour break. The blue flush is coming, is what's happening. The blue flush. Could you imagine if New York goes for Trump? Could you imagine what that would be like? Holy smokes. Wouldn't that be beautiful? If New York went for Trump, holy smokes. If any of those states go for Trump, like New Jersey, any of those states go for Trump, what would that be like? Yeah, Mike, our board op, is in New York for the World Series. We have Jeremy filling in today. Mm-hmm. We're going to be vertical today, Shawna. So it's vertical all morning. You get a more close-up view. I should have shaved. No, this is the camera I use every day. Here we go. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. All right, welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And man, oh man, do we have a lot to talk about. Did you see this nonsense that happened on CNN? They kicked off a Republican. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. There is a story that you probably have not heard about Kamala Harris that very well may be the October surprise that I'm going to get to in a little bit. And there's also some things on Tim Walz and a whole bunch of other things going on in the news. We are on news overload right now, but I'm going to go through a lot of it from now until 9 o'clock and take your calls at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. First, I want to talk about a couple of follow-up things from yesterday that the desperate Democrats in the fake news are obsessing over. One is they continue to call this rally, this incredible rally at Madison Square Garden, a Nazi rally, referencing this Nazi rally from 1933. And I just want to throw a couple things out there for you Democrats to wrap your minds around. Now, first off, you know, Richie the bus driver called in yesterday and made an incredible point that I've not heard anyone make. And then I got a couple things to add to it. But Richie had pointed out this is not the same Madison Square Garden. Now, I knew it wasn't the same building from 1933. But the original Madison Square Garden was even at another location. But this is what they're leaving out. To have a political rally at Madison Square Garden is the same as this 1933 American Nazi rally. That's what they want you to believe. Well, the Democrat convention in 1992 was at Madison Square Garden. Bill Clinton, President Clinton, accepted the Democrat nomination for President of the United States at Madison Square Garden. So, and I'm sure Mrs. Clinton remembers this because Hillary was there. So, was the 1992 Democrat convention a Nazi rally? Since you're not allowed to have political rallies there. And it gets worse for the Democrats. The 1980 Democrat National Convention was also at Madison Square Garden when President Jimmy Carter accepted the nomination. Was President Carter in 1980 leading a Nazi rally? And you know, these Democrat conventions, these are week-long events, week-long political rallies at Madison Square Garden. So if our one day there with this historic Trump rally is a Nazi rally because you had a political rally, you know, and the thing in 33, wouldn't it, to be consistent, wouldn't Hillary Clinton and Rachel Maddow and CNN and all these other lunatics on the left have to acknowledge that the 1992 Democrat convention with Bill Clinton and the 1980 Democrat convention with President Carter were Nazi rallies too? Oh, they forgot about that. They didn't think too far ahead. And there's okay, so that's one. And I'd really like some Democrats to try to explain the differences between that to me. I also want to get something out of the way with this comedian. Now, yesterday, I wasn't familiar with the guy when I saw him on Sunday, and even we were talking about him yesterday. And then I found out yesterday I had seen him perform once, the comedian from the Madison Square Garden rally on Sunday. He was at the roast for Tom Brady. Anybody watch the roast for Tom Brady? Yeah, and I went back and watched the part with him yesterday, and I did see it when that roast happened, and he's brutal. And he obviously did not get a feel for the room, and his comedy was not the appropriate comedy for the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden. Make no mistake about it. However, this Puerto Rican joke, this joke about Puerto Rico, we now have some context. Thanks to National Public Radio, which is very liberal, NPR, very liberal, and also Megyn Kelly talked about this yesterday. Well, listen to this. This is National Public Radio, I'm going to pull up. Puerto Rico struggles under the weight of its own garbage, also known as garbage. Apparently, and I don't, even though I have been to Puerto Rico twice since Hurricane Maria, and many of you have gone with me because two of our cruises had stops in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and the first time we went there with our listeners was right after the hurricane, remember? Well, the landfills where they take their garbage, you know, like we have one here, right? We have a bunch of them here, but the most famous one is off Sample Road and the Turnpike in Pompano, right? Our big landfill. I call it Mount Trashmore, and I'm not the only one that calls it that. I'm sure a lot of people call it Mount Trashmore. But in Puerto Rico, their garbage landfills are overflowing with garbage, and it's a big problem down there. And I'm not defending this comedian, nor attacking him. I'm just putting context to this Puerto Rico joke that he made. Now, I have posted 3 or 4 stories about this on my X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Brian Craig Show. I posted these yesterday afternoon, so if you go to my X, Brian Craig Show, you can see all these stories. This is, I'll read to you some of the Puerto Rican story from National Public Radio. Headline, after Maria, that's the hurricane, Puerto Rico struggles under the weight of its own garbage. Outside Puerto Rico's capital, this is National Public Radio, all the liberal news that is safe to propagandize. Outside Puerto Rico's capital, a 3-story high mountain of debris and waste, it's amazing, sits smack in the middle of what was a suburban soccer field before Hurricane Maria devastated the island. Blue bleachers peek out from the edge of a trash pile as a line of trucks rolls in to dump even more tree branches and moldy furniture. It goes on. The garbage landfills on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico are overflowing with garbage, and they do not have the infrastructure to dispose of it properly. This is a big thing that's been going on in Puerto Rico for the last 5 years. So again, I'm not defending this guy, but what happened with that joke, there was no context. You know, you may have heard me say this on the air 5,000 times over the years. For a joke to be funny, there has to be some truth to the joke, right? No matter how offensive it is. And that guy's joke about Puerto Rico is really, it's an important issue that needs to be dealt with that's being ignored. And it's another issue ignored by Kamala and Biden. And that is the overflowing landfills of Puerto Rico. It's a big problem down there. So and really Puerto Rico, I haven't seen any Puerto Ricans upset except Geraldo Rivera. Isn't one of the women on The View Puerto Rican? I don't know. But Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans should thank that comedian for his joke about Puerto Rico, whether or not it was offensive or funny or not funny, because what that comedian did at the Madison Square Garden rally is bring attention to a terrible thing going on in Puerto Rico that no one is paying attention to and needs to be dealt with and solved, and that is the overflowing garbage landfills of Puerto Rico. It's amazing, isn't it? It absolutely is amazing. So it's just there was no context to the joke. Now, the other joke, and I'm going to throw this out to the audience. I meant to look this up this morning, and I had a power outage at my house today, and I lost my internet for a while, and I ran out of time, and I was going to look this up. Now, again, make no mistake, I am not defending this comedian. He should not have been booked there. Okay? Or he should have done some jokes that were more family-friendly for the MAGA crowd, and it's a political event. This isn't a Comedy Central Netflix celebrity roast, which is what he mainly does. This one joke, in fact, Renee from Harlem called in yesterday about the joke about that they're calling racist about blacks and Halloween and watermelon. And I remembered yesterday, that is not the first time I heard that joke. I just can't remember who it was. I have heard that joke recently, within the last year, about blacks, Halloween, and watermelon, the same joke, but it was from a black comedian, and I can't remember who said it. But I do know this. It was either online or on television, and it was someone who's a famous black comedian. So if someone could let me know who that is that actually said that joke, not the guy on Sunday, but the black comedian who said the joke, give me a call and let me know. All right. I want to tell you all that, we just got hit by this hurricane, Milton, in Florida a couple weeks back. And this is one of the most devastating hurricanes ever to hit Florida because there's so much damage so far outside the hurricane cone. And it is rainy hurricane season here in Florida. If you need roof repair or replacement, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, you want to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. He's a good MAGA guy, and he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you just need a simple repair, Tom Laporta will do it. He works on every type of structure, from small single-family homes up to massive buildings and commercial buildings and municipal buildings, schools, churches, whatever it is. He also works condos, HOAs. If you have a condo community that has one building or 150 buildings, Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing can help you. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to give you his cell phone number. Now remember, he's not just a roofer, he's a contractor. And because he's a contractor under Florida law, Tom Laporta is able to deal directly with your homeowners or property insurance company on the cost of the repair or the replacement of your roof, which speeds the process along a lot, I'm here to tell you. This is Tom Laporta's cell phone number, which he only gives out to our listeners. This is, if you go to his website, this is not the number that's on his website, so he takes extra good care of our listeners. This is Tom Laporta's cell phone number. Don't believe me? Call him, and you'll see. He'll answer the phone. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. For Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll take our first break. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. Guys, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? I'll be right back. I drank a lot of water this morning, guys.
60s and 70s are back on the radio right after 10 a.m. this morning. Check it out on South Florida's True Oldies channel right here.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce has fantastic free-to-attend events all year long. Join us for their next great expo in your area.
Coming up, their Military Appreciation Veterans Day Home Show and Expo, November 9th and 10th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Boynton Beach Mall, 801 North Congress Ave in Boynton Beach. It's their 14th annual Military Appreciation Veterans Day Weekend Home Show and Business Expo. We'll see you there.
Learn more and see a full list of events at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88. And free shipping on orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard MyPillow for just $14.88. The lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to
Welcome.
be celebrating 50 years here in
If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, all right? My name is Brian. This is where the MAGA comes to talk. And I see there's a lot of people on hold, so we'll go to the phones first before I bring up any new issues.
all your favorite top quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more.
I got to get into this BS that they're pulling on
your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the Northeast
CNN.
Boulevard on Prosperity Farms Grove in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website.
Welcome, everyone. Yes.
See us 7 days a week at Nutrition World.
1 week away until the return of Trump. Watching from Ireland. Welcome, Ireland. That's right. President Trump 2024, baby. We're coming back right now. All righty, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'll take some calls before I bring up some new issues, but there is a story about Kamala Harris that very well may be the October surprise, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, and there's some important questions about that story. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I think we're falling into a trap. I personally, I'm going to defend that comedian 150%. I mean, he made jokes about blacks with the watermelon. He said the Palestinians throw rocks while the Jews have problems throwing paper, which meant money.
Richie, I don't want to go through the jokes. Okay, everybody knows the jokes. I don't need you to hear. I don't need you to hear them over again. Okay.
George Lopez with Tim Walz. Did you hear his joke?
Yeah, I did, and and he is George And George Lopez, isn't he the lowlife whose wife donated him a kidney and then he left her? Wasn't that George Lopez? I mean, what kind of, that's who they invite to these Kamala Tim Walz events? His wife donated a kidney to him and then he divorced her. What a scumbucket.
Yeah, but his joke was worse, and my contention is this. It's a joke, people. It's a joke. If you have no sense of humor, don't listen. I mean, they exploit every word that comes out of President Trump's mouth. Now they're going to the comedian blaming the Trump people that we're all Nazis and it was a convention of hate. We're falling for their damn trap.
No, we're not. We're not falling into it, but I'm putting I am putting context into it. You know, the overflowing land, I'm not going to let them just throw stuff out there and say, it's a joke, it was a joke. I'm putting context to what was said. One, the Puerto Rican there is a major problem with their overflowing landfills. The watermelon joke, which I'm not a fan of that joke, but I heard a black comedian in the last year tell that joke, and if somebody knows who that is, it was a famous comedian because I was watching it on TV or online on a streaming app or something. So it was a well-known comedian who's black that said the joke.
Brian, if it's okay if a black says a joke about a black, but God forbid a white comedian makes a joke about a black, but that wasn't like that 20 years ago. This has become...
All right, Richie, we're getting, okay, hey, listen, I appreciate the call, good call, but, you know, he wants to tell the jokes over again, and I'm not interested in that. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Jim from Michigan.
Hey, Jim, what's up?
Hey, you wanted to know the name of that person that was dressed up as a watermelon?
No, they weren't dressed up as a watermelon. That joke that the guy told Sunday was told, no, I'm not here to hear other comedians and their racism. That joke, you know, this comedian is also a writer, and he may have written the joke for the comedian that told it. I'm not sure which it is. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jack, upstate New York.
Hey, Jack, what's up?
Yeah, so I think we have to remember this is the 11th hour of the election, and this is more fake racism from Donald Trump that, you know, ignores the fact that we're about to reelect who, until Biden came along, was the H-1B visa king.
Mm. Well, you know, listen, they've got nothing. You know, there's Kamala Harris.
He's an anti-racist. Trump is an anti-racist. That's the point. He's faking it.
What do you mean? You know, we're on the radio, people, okay? Oh, my goodness. I hit the delay for the first time today. Oh, my God. And I wanted to talk to that guy. Because he's a demented Democrat, and, you know. But, hey, listen. Democrats are, no more calls until the delay rebuilds. And for those that don't know what that is, just to let you know, on the radio, there's more than 7 words. George Carlin's routine at 7 words, but it's more. There are words and things you can't say on the radio, so we're on delay. When you're listening on the radio, depending on which radio station it is, what you're hearing is 10 seconds ago on average, all right? It was said 10 seconds ago. If you're listening on the radio, I'm like a time traveler. I'm 10 seconds into your future. So when someone says one of the words that's not allowed, we hit the dump button so it doesn't go out over the radio. Profanities are the biggest one. He said BS, okay, the full word. You can't say that. And then we have to wait for the delay to build back up before we take another call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey, Berta.
Well, I'm calling just to let you know, just don't worry about it, Brian. They're going to they're throwing stuff at the wall. They're so desperate, Brian. Can you see them in every news media? They're desperate. So they're throwing to see what stays. And you know what? If we don't pay attention to it, the little, like I tell my kids when they were young, the little boy that cried wolf, that story?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, you keep saying that the man was racist. You keep saying that the man is a fascist. We're finding out all these things are not true. You said that there was going to be a Nazi thing at the rally. It was perfectly great, but they denied to tell you that it was a Democratic convention.
Yeah, well, yeah, here's the thing. Okay, it's Goebbels. Goebbels, the father of propaganda. He was the propaganda minister for Hitler, and the quote that is often connected to Goebbels. Now, I don't speak or understand German. I took it in college, but I dropped it right before the drop date because it was very hard. German's a very difficult language to learn. But anyway, Goebbels said, "Repeat a lie often enough, and people will believe it." It's great. Repeat it, and that's what the liberals do. They just keep repeating their lies, and they think if they keep repeating them, people will believe them.
People believe it, but guess what? You know what they did to us? They built us some thick skin, okay? Now we don't believe anything. Now what happens? The media
That's right.
numbers are going down. We don't believe the media anymore.
Yeah, no, you're right. Now, you're exactly right. Yeah, that's a good point. Now we don't believe anything. We question everything now.
Yeah, look what happened to the Washington Post. Supposedly Bezos doesn't want to, he knows better, but at the same time, he made a comment supposedly saying that we the people no longer believe in the media. So somebody's starting to wake up.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm surprised because I thought Jeff Bezos was just retired and he just traveled the world with his girlfriend, taking whatever it is they take to both look ripped and in shape, you know. But he got involved. He doesn't want the Washington Post to disappear, so he ordered. Not only did Bezos order the Washington Post editorial board not to endorse anyone, he went in there this week and told them that they have to hire Republican conservative writers. Which is, God forbid we have fair and balanced reporting in America, right?
We have to go back to when we were kids, when we used to listen to the news. I used to listen to old news in the 1970s while I was cleaning and stuff. They actually reported news. It wasn't opinionated. And,
yeah.
And so people are forgetting the media. We have no more, and this is for the public, we have no more trust in MSNBC, ABC, CBS, all those big corporate medias. We have trust in we the people. So we're turning to people like you, Brian, to listen to our news.
Well, I appreciate it.
Be careful. We have to be careful because some of them, just to rile up a mess, it's everything. But with Google and everything, when we look it up, like, I just found out something new. I never knew that the Nazis that showed up in the 1930-something at the Madison Square Garden it's a Democratic convention.
Well, yeah, of course, because and it was 1933, and Roosevelt was president. President Roosevelt refused to sign federal anti-lynching legislation because his constituents around the country, the Democrats, were lynching black people, and he was afraid it would cost him Southern votes. The Nazis were Democrats because it was the racist that were lynching blacks in the South and the Jim Crow laws and segregation. Yes, of course they were Democrats. Listen, I got to run. I appreciate the call. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Don't forget, Medicare open enrollment period. The one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare plan. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare. Give her a call, 954-753-8080. If you get an answering machine, leave a message with your name and number, and Debbie will call you back. That's 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. We'll be right back. Oh, man. Hey, guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. I'll take some more calls, and then I'll get into some other issues. No, there's no issue. Mm-hmm. All right. I've got so much to cover. We've only just scratched the surface, people. Just scratch the surface. Don't blow their minds with facts. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Don't blow their mind with facts. Exactly. Exactly. Deborah, you complain about whatever I do, so, you're the Deborah that cried wolf too. I'm sorry. I saw you say it earlier. You don't have to keep complaining. Your grievance has been noted, Deborah. And I filed it away in the circular file. Does anyone know that? That's an old reference. The circular file, also known as File 13. Anybody know what that is? Yes, the trash. Trash. Sometimes called File 13. That one's kind of gone out. It's an old time. You know, like my grandparents, grew up like in the 40s, used to talk about that in the 30s. Or running up the flagpole and see if anyone salutes it. That's another old one. Yeah, that's another one, Philip. That's another way to say garbage can. Oh, this is great. We are a week away. Think about it. We are a week away from the re-election of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. Oh, my goodness. 8 days from now, I'll be opening up this microphone celebrating the re-election of Donald Trump. How beautiful will that be, guys? Oh, it'll be beautiful. It won't be better. It's going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't wait. I got goosebumps just thinking about it. Goosebumps. Yeah, if you're new, I'm on the radio on a whole bunch of FM radio stations in the morning. I take the callers. Some of them are from YouTube. Some of them are from radio stations. Some of them are from other online platforms. And if you're watching live, you can call me. The number's pinned to the top of the chat. All the calls are screenless, meaning when you call in, I just put you on hold and I take the call on the air. We have a board out back here, Jeremy, who could answer the phones, but we don't do that. We take them all screenless. And again, the number's pinned to the top of the chat to call in live. It's 888-465-2631. Toll free no matter where you are, 888-465-2631. We'll be back shortly, guys. Yeah, and I'll have a new podcast today, too.
Learn more and see a full list of events at greatersouthfloridachamber.com.
Really? It's pinned at the bottom? Oh, because you're watching it in vertical? Yes, it's pinned at the bottom of the chat, guys. 888-465-2631. Thank you for that. We just broke 31,000 watchers to the stream this morning. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome everyone who's new. This is where MAGA comes to talk, people.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Cripp, celebrating 47 years.
All right, 33 minutes after the hour. I'll take another call or two before I bring up anything new, but oh man, what an exciting day. Think about it. We are a week away from the re-election of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. And 8 days from today, at this time, we're going to be celebrating big time, bigly. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Omar, can you turn down the volume of whatever I heard in the background, if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah.
Please, and then we'll maybe have a conversation. I don't know. Okay, all right, Omar. Omar from Florida. What's on your mind? I can hear you. What's on your mind?
Well, I haven't voted yet, and I'm leaning towards Harris, and I want to see if you could change my mind.
What? Let me ask you. You're leaning towards Harris, Kamala, and you want to know if I could change your mind. Do you happen to be a millennial?
I am a millennial.
Oh, how do you think I knew you were a millennial?
The tone of my voice sounds young.
No, millennials aren't that young. The millennials are like in their 40s and stuff now. No, Mayor Pete and AOC are millennials. No, because millennials are, don't take no offense, Jeremy, our boy, he's filling in for Mike this week. Don't take, this is not you, Jeremy, our boy. Millennials like you are narcissists. You're a narcissist. And what you want me to do is make everything about you. See, a millennial, your average millennial like you, the world revolves around you. And you validate this because when you go outside in the daytime and you look up, the sun's right over your head. So obviously, everything's about you. You want me to sit here and grovel and try to convince you? That's not going to happen. You say you're leaning towards Kamala. Why?
Just the previous actions of Donald Trump.
The previous actions of Donald Trump, January 6th.
Let me ask you this. Isn't it weird that his former vice president, is running with him?
No, it's not. In fact, no, it's not. In fact, this in the past, this was quite normal. FDR had multiple vice presidents. Franklin Roosevelt. That was normal in the past. But excuse me. No. Listen, I know. Slow down, millennial. I know you don't like Trump, okay? But Kamala Harris, she's the incumbent vice president of the United States, and a lot of terrible things have happened in the 3.5 years, right? So, like inflation's over 50%. There's been an invasion of this country of about 25 million illegals. Many of them are raping and murdering our women. And also a major trafficking of fentanyl, other drugs, human trafficking, and a slave passage through the southern border. So so what about Kamala Harris makes you say she's done such a great job, I want to re-elect her?
Wait, no. It's not even about Kamala. It's just how.
We're not talking about Trump. We're talking about Kamala. No. Listen, I'm not your mommy and daddy, okay? Listen. You are voting. You say you're leaning towards Kamala. What has Kamala done in the last 3.5 years with this senile, corrupt old coot Joe Biden that's so spectacular that you're considering voting for her?
Well, comparison to Trump?
No, we're not talking about Trump. We know you hate Trump. We're not talking about Trump. No, I didn't ask you to compare them at all. Excuse me, I did not ask you to compare Kamala and Trump. I'm asking you to give me an example or two of some positive things Kamala has done in the last 3.5 years that make you say, I want more of this.
Okay, well, I was in favor of the CHIPS Act.
What is the CHIPS Act? What is that? And how?
The CHIPS Act is basically the chips that are in motor vehicles that we rely heavily in China.
Chips? Computer chips? Donald Trump wants to bring all manufacturing back to the United States. Give me a real reason. Excuse me, are you familiar with are you familiar with the rape and murder of Lincoln Riley that one of Kamala's dreamers committed?
Familiar. But what does that have to do with what we're talking about right now?
Because she is the border czarina, she is the incumbent in office right now, and women have been raped and murdered by people she's allowed in here. Furthermore, there's over 200,000 missing children for the southern border that are either dead, being sex trafficked, or something else. You want more of that because of some computer chip thing that you just thought of? Are you out of your mind?
I have so many other things to go off of. The Veterans Act.
The Veterans Act? What is that?
Giving health care to disabled veterans.
Disabled veterans have health care. Oh my goodness. There's your millennials, people. There's your millennials. Disabled veterans, they have veterans disability, and there's a VA hospital right down the street from the radio station. Oh my goodness. Don't you love these millennials? Beg me, convince me to vote. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff. Oh, my goodness.
That guy, he's lying through his teeth. He's not going to change his mind. If he doesn't see it's the economy, stupid, it comes down to that as simply, Brian.
Well, Jeff, if mommy and daddy pay your bills, you don't worry about the economy because mommy and daddy take care of everything.
That's true. But, for some very young people it is. But if you're an adult and you think that you're better off now than you were under Trump, you're brainwashed. You're not even using your common sense God gave you.
Yeah, but she said something about computer chips. He likes this thing about computer chips in the cars. So these women that are raped or murdered, or that little girl that was raped and murdered by Kamala's dreamers, Kamala wants something with the computer chips in the cars. There's sacrifices for these. What an idiot.
Yeah. you know, every time you think a liberal can't get dumber, they show up and prove us wrong.
It's true.
That's what I think.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, that's what it's all about. The liberals that are staying behind Harris, she has proven she has not have one thing she can stand on that she's done to make America better.
Well, remember, President Trump, nobody knows who Harris is. You got to say Kamala. I mean, when you say Harris, I got to even think for a second. Who's Harris? I know Harris Faulkner on Fox. Is that who?
Yeah. You know, it's funny that, you know, she goes by her first name. Has that ever been done in a national election?
Not successfully, no. Not that I know.
You know, in 1 week, Brian, it's the most important election in U.S. history since 1776. And we have the greatest leader who is for and by and the people. He is doing it for us. He's not doing it for him. He's not gaining anything. He's trying to save our country. And I say, God bless him. He is one tough man. There's no one tougher on the planet. For everything they put him through, he's still standing. He won't give up. And it inspires me. You know, there's nothing the Democrats do to inspire our country or unite us. They divide us. And Trump is the unifier.
He's the yeah, absolutely. Hey, Jeff, I appreciate the call. Callers on hold, stand by. How would you like to turn your money into guaranteed income for the rest of your life? Sounds pretty good, huh? That's absolutely correct. And you want to call Joe Thomas, Jupiter Joe Thomas. Talk to him about annuities. You know, I've heard about annuities my entire life. Heard a lot of guys on the radio like me talking about annuities, and I never understood them until I met Joe Thomas, and he explained them to me. And he told me two things, and that's all I needed to hear about annuities. One, when you put money in an annuity, you're not risking your money. There's no risk. You're not going to lose your money. You know, I'm not a gambler, and I'm not in the stock market, okay? I own one stock, the Trump Truth Social stock. That's it. I don't own stocks. And the reason I don't is I don't like that aggravation of up and down. I work very hard for my money, and I don't like to gamble. That's why I don't, even on our cruises, I don't gamble in the casino. My daughter goes, she gambles. I make her gamble with her own money. I won't even give her money to put in the slots. You know, and with annuities, you're not gambling with your money. Your money is safe. That's the first thing that Joe Thomas told me. And the second thing he told me, which I didn't know, is that you can have a guaranteed income for the rest of your life from that annuity. Wow, who doesn't need another revenue stream? It's absolutely amazing. Now, Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations to listeners of our radio station, and you can take advantage of this no matter where you're located in the United States. I'm going to give you his number. Give him a call, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. Give him a call. Tell him what your goals are. Tell him what your situation is. He'll run the numbers and give you a custom proposal. 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website. It's there. It's easy to remember. JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com. All right. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll take our last break of the first hour. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey guys, welcome. We just broke 41,400 people watching the stream. Holy smokes, I should have dressed up a little bit. This is all I need. The Hat of Wisdom. Any of you guys know the episode of Star Trek called Spock's Brain? Remember Dr. McCoy puts that hat on and he gets all that knowledge? And then he can do this operation on Spock to put his brain back in. That's what this hat is like. And this is one of my I have a lot of MAGA hats, and this is one of the MAGA hats that President Trump has seen up close with his own eyes, like this close. This hat's been this close to President Trump, right? Right there. So when I wear one of my MAGA hats that President Trump has seen up close and personal with his own eyes, I feel like a little bit of his wisdom is left in the hat. So when that's why I wear these hats on the ones I wear on the radio are the ones that he's seen, because I feel a little smarter when I got them on. The hats of wisdom. It's true. The one that he's seen the most with his own eyes, that hat is so sun dried and everything, because I've had it so long, but it's a smart one. Yes, yes, yes. Oh. Oh boy. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, guys, all right? This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah, please like the video, too. Those of you that already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video. Liking the video helps so much, guys. We'll be back shortly.
Call Dr. Appleton right now and say bye-bye to your pain too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to say
Yeah, I've got I have a dark MAGA hat, but not a dark Gothic MAGA hat. My favorite one, though, is my autographed Donald Trump MAGA hat, the one I have at the safe deposit box at the bank. You know? All right, here we go. All right, 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We are 7 days away from the re-election of our favorite president, Donald Trump. How exciting. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Once, twice. All right, sorry. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jack, coming from within again. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Your phone connection's breaking up a little bit, but we'll bear with it, you know. I'm going to give it another moment, maybe. You know what? Hang up and call back, all right? I'll put you on. You're always good for a laugh, so hang up and call back, okay? Maybe we'll get a better connection on the cell. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Never Trumper Steve in Palm City.
Hey, Never Trumper Steve. What's up?
I appreciate the valiant try about the comedian, but I think you'd agree with me. Any rally being held as a political rally is to gain more votes, not to subtract from your votes. And I've heard nothing but the Latin community complain.
Really? Excuse me, are you Puerto Rican? Excuse me, Never Trumper Steve, are you Puerto Rican?
I am not.
Oh, so mighty white of you to be offended on behalf of the Puerto Rican people. I heard from Puerto Ricans on this program yesterday that had no problem with it. But we're glad that you, liberal white savior, are offended for the poor Puerto Rican people.
It wasn't just those jokes. And by the way, you didn't have a comeback for his for the sexual jokes about Puerto Rico.
I got no. Listen, I'm not defending this guy. He shouldn't have been there. His jokes were inappropriate. And yesterday I talked about the sexual joke was disgusting, and and basically he got booed off stage. No one laughed at his jokes. I'm not defending this guy. But meanwhile, your candidate is bringing murderer. The subject. I'm the host of the show. Steve. I'm the host. Excuse me. I host the show. I decide what the subject is. Friday is open phones.
Said anything negative about we don't
like. Listen. Excuse me, Steve. Trump's not going to put him up on a pedestal. Listen, Your candidate, Kamala Harris, is bringing people into this country by the millions that are raping and murdering our women. That's what you, and you're upset about a joke. You're upset about a joke, and your candidate is bringing rapists and murderers here.
To Trump, who killed the bill that would have made this.
Killed the bill. Killed the bill. Enough. I'm not going to debate stupidity. Killed the bill. They already have everything they need to protect the border. Trump did it, and they undid everything. Oh, my goodness. All right, let me see if this is our guy back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jack from Sarasota. Can you hear me now?
It's a little better, but not much. I thought it was you. We'll give it a go. Go ahead, Jack.
No. I just wanted to know, why do you think it's okay for Trump to know exactly what that comedian was going to say, and he didn't say anything?
Oh, really? Trump? Oh, this is interesting. Well, I am... Oh, man. This is awesome. Hey, Jeremy, we may get TV crews showing up because we're breaking political news here on the program. You mean to tell me that this comedian submitted his routine to President Trump prior to the event, and President Trump approved of these jokes?
In fact,
where can I find Donald Trump and this, him sitting down and having the routine run by him and him approving? I'm going to get national publicity right now because we've got breaking news. Where can I find this proof of President Trump? Go, give me the proof that Donald Trump approved this guy's routine so I can get national publicity.
Tony, the gentleman who was the one with all the bad jokes.
Yeah.
People laughed at that, right?
No, I want to know. Listen, I want to be famous. I want everybody talking about. I want to be trending on X. Where can I find Trump approving prior to the event of that guy's routine? Please help me trend on X.
So what you're saying?
What I'm saying is you're full of crap. That's what I'm saying. Oh my goodness. You know, this is amazing. Democrats are offended at a comedian, but they're not offended at their candidate who's bringing rapists and murderers and child traffickers that are raping and murdering and trafficking children in this country. That doesn't bother them. But, oh, you tell a joke. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sean from Tampa.
Hey, Sean. Oh, my goodness.
You know, I think it's quite funny how a lot of these guys are going on about this comedian shit.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. 2 dumps today. Oh, my goodness. 2 dumps today. Callers on hold, stand by. I got to wait for the delay to build back up. This is what happens when you go screenless. Hey, listen, where are we going? Well, let me take a moment while we're waiting for the delay to build back up so we can take more calls to talk about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. By the way, it's 1 call per day. Incredible deals going on right now at MyPillow.com. And remember, you can use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones that I talk about. Of course, I've been talking a lot about the MyPillow itself is just $14.88 with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. I bought this pillow 10 years ago. I paid $65 for it. Now it's $14.88 with our promo code KANE. These make great Christmas gifts. And at this price, you can get a whole bunch of them. If you're an employer, these are great to give for your workers. If you're a grandparent, you got a lot of kids and grandkids, get the kids the gift of a MyPillow. They will love it. Go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and remember, free shipping on all orders over $75, and you can use our promo code KANE on all the specials at MyPillow.com, no matter what it says, okay? You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Yes, you're on the air. Yeah. Once, twice. Okay, that's our profanity guy. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I'm glad you're... Oh, I'm sorry, Chris from Pamela.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I'm glad you're handling this way because
as usual, no matter how you put truth in front of them or explain to them or, try to get an honest answer out of them, it's not going to happen. So this Trump generation syndrome was a true disease. They must ask themselves. I mean, come on, but they should be allowed to say anything they want. I'm talking to politicians and whatever voters. That's slanderous, that's lies, it's outright. And you don't have to be held accountable. I mean, you talk about not having the same rules. Any conservative, I'm talking, you go back to whoever's been, going up for election, like, Sarah Palin. What they did was disgusting. I mean, President Trump, some of them should have been in jail for saying.
Well, I tell you, this is, this thing. I was talking about this at the top of the hour. I want to end this hour with this and hear your thoughts. Okay, so Mrs. Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton's wife, said that having a political event at Madison Square Garden is a Nazi rally because it was a Nazi rally that the Democrats put on in the 1930s. We come to find out that the 1992 Democrat convention, where Mrs. Clinton's husband, Bill Clinton, accepted the nomination for president, was at Madison Square Garden. And furthermore, the 1980 Democrat convention, where President Carter accepted the nomination, he just voted for Kamala, right? Jimmy Carter. That was also at Madison Square Garden. So was Mrs. Clinton at a Nazi rally that nominated her husband in 92 at Madison Square Garden? And what about President Carter's convention? Was that a Nazi rally too? I don't think Mrs. Clinton was thinking clearly when she said that stupidity last week.
Of course not. And like you said, and I love how you came back with that yesterday. I mean, there's all types of diversity there. So you think if there was Nazi, why were Jewish people there? Why were all types of other ethnicities there? So, I mean, come on. They can't just say anything, be held accountable. But look, this is how, those voters are weak and easy to manipulate. And the voter commercial that just came on, they're strong arming them. I don't know if you've heard it, but I heard it this week. They're saying, voting is private, but your vote, once you vote, is public.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to know your family.
Did you see that masturbation ad that Kamala's running? No, you haven't seen it? No, I cannot play this on the radio, but I'm going to describe it to you. Okay? There's a new television ad that is running online, probably not on TV, but it's online. It's done by the Kamala people. The ad starts off with a young white guy in his 20s watching porn and masturbating. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. And yeah, you can hear it and see it. Yeah, they actually show it, okay? And you hear the porn. And a guy comes up and says that if Donald Trump wins, he won't be able to watch his porn and masturbate any longer. I am not kidding you. It is a real. It's on my. If you guys go to my X, Brian Craig Show, I put the ad up there for you guys.
It doesn't surprise me one bit. I mean, we're not going to get nothing out of this. This whole thing is a joke, and you have to have people. I'm surprised even the base. But see, they know that you may vote against Kamala, and they're going to say you might get fired from your job because you voted. Once you vote, it's public. And your boss is going to know you voted. Your family's going to know you voted. Don't vote quietly like a lot of them will do in New York against Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
They want to pay less taxes. They want to live. They want a strong country. These people are ridiculous. And I can't tell you one thing Trump has done bad, and his presidency was awesome compared to.
Well, if you think Making America Great Again is some type of federal crime, then he's done very bad things, Making America Great Again. How dare he? Oh, my goodness. Just amazing.
Some idiot comedian. Meanwhile, they just torch any conservative. I mean, Roseanne Barr got thrown off for a decent joke off television.
That's right. That's right. Hey, listen, I got to run. I got to run for the top of the hour break, but thanks for the call. All right, great call. Callers on hold, stand by. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. It looks like the Kamala Harris, the October surprise about her, may be coming out. I'll tell you about that after the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. Back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indian.
Oh, boy. There's only one opening on our full board of calls. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I got to turn the air down. It is really, I turn it down a little bit, but not enough. I'll be right back. It is Florida, right? We need air conditioner. Air conditioner is life in Florida. 60,000. We just passed 60,000 people watching the stream this morning. Welcome, guys. This is it. I mean, it's 7 days to save America. 7 days to save America. Okay, callers on hold, stand by. There is only one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. Before we move on, though, there's a guy on X that you may be familiar with, Matt Walz. He has over 2 million followers on X. He's a very credible person when it comes to news. And last night, he dropped something that is pretty amazing that I'm going to share. And by the way, I want to tell you guys, you know, there's over 61,000 people watching on YouTube right now. So those of you that are new, welcome. I know, 61,000. Should I have gotten dressed up today? I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should have shaved. Maybe that. I don't know. But anyway... Matt Walz, he is a very credible person when it comes to news. I do follow him and have for a while, and I know a lot of you do because he has over 2 million followers on X. And some of you may be familiar, years ago, Kamala dated Montel Williams. And this is what Matt Walz posted last night on X. I was just informed by a friend who was the CEO of a large tech company. Listen to this. This is Matt Walz on X. I was just informed by my friend who was the CEO of a large tech company that there is allegedly a sex tape being shopped around involving Kamala Harris and Montel Williams. Then he goes on, this could break the internet and seriously damage the Harris campaign. A sex tape, and now we don't know, it's being alleged. What do you think the impact of that would be? I don't think the American people want to have a leader that's a woman making sex tapes. That's just me. I think it's a pretty big deal. I'm not going to share more thoughts on that quite yet. Maybe I will as the conversation goes on. But that's not me. Matt Walz is saying that he has a source with a large tech company. Allegedly, there's a sex tape being shopped around with Kamala and Montel. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. Every line on the board is lit. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jerome Pompano?
Yeah, Pompano, go ahead.
Yeah, in my book, Pamela Harris is nothing but another Jezebel.
I can't. You got to get closer to the phone. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I think Pamela Harris.
You're on. You got to get off. You got to get off the speakerphone. I can't hear you on the speakerphone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Pamela Harris is nothing but another Jezebel.
A Jezebel, yes. I mean, what do you think the impact would be if there was a sex tape come out of her with Montel? What do you think the reaction to that would be?
Well, to Americans, it would be disgusting to people in their right mind. Because, like I say, she's a Jezebel mind, and just a gospel to repeat her.
Yes, I agree with that. But, you know, the thing about that is, I think it would, of course, do more damage to her than she's already been doing herself. It certainly would not put her in the position of being a victim. I mean, I don't think the American people want to elect someone who's making sex tapes. And, if it does exist, and this is just alleged right now, if it does exist, this isn't like today when we have tiny little cameras all over the place. She was dating Montel like in the early 90s. If you're videotaping something back then, you got a big old camera, okay? You ever see the camera that the guy that filmed Rodney King? It was like an old TV camera size thing. It'd be a camcorder. And camcorders back in that period were huge, huge. So this would be something, if it exists, that she would have had knowledge of being made. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yeah, my name is Edward, calling from Monroe, Michigan. I just wanted to add that...
Now, did you call before? No, this is the first time. Okay, I'm sorry. There was another guy from Michigan. Okay, go ahead, Edward.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I seen a clip where George Lopez is making a joke about
yes.
Mexicans. And
well, he
cry out about that.
Well, you can make if you're this is the deal, okay? If you're a Democrat, you have a license to do and say whatever you want to say and not be held accountable. You understand? If you're a Republican, you're held to saintly standards by the left. But if you're a Democrat, you have a license to literally kill.
Yeah, that Kamala Harris, I mean, they're all corrupt. They're a bunch of garbage people.
Yeah, now what do you think the impact would be if this sex tape of Kamala exists with Montel Williams? It's only being alleged now by Matt Wallace on X. What kind of impact do you think that would have on this? This could be the October surprise, the last week of the race.
I think if that was to come out, that would be the end of the Harris era. But knowing them, they would do whatever it takes to cover that up.
Well, yeah, the idea that it's being shopped around. If there was a sex tape of Trump, they wouldn't be shopping it around. They would just drop it. It'd be all over the place.
Correct.
All right, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Ben Papa.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, what's up with the episode that you guys uploaded yesterday at the podcast? The first and second hour weren't uploaded due to technical issues.
I don't know.
I went on the website and...
What website? Oh, you mean on our radio station website? The oldies, yeah. Oh, Mike, our board op, who usually handles that, is not here. He handles that for the radio station, and he's up in New York for the World Series. So I guess it didn't get uploaded yesterday.
Okay. Is it gonna get uploaded? Is there gonna be a way to get a hold of it?
I don't know. I'll ask later and find out. Good question. I don't know.
Right, cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So as far as the sex tape goes, listen, you gotta remember, Kamala, like, her destiny, her path in life when she was dating Willie Brown and all this, it wasn't getting into politics. Freedom, like she tells everyone she did. This happened by happenstance because she dated a guy with power and influence. He happened to be the mayor of San Francisco, and she kind of like fell into it, and then she just rolled with it. So, but at the very beginning, it was clear that she kind of, was leading a lifestyle of like a sugar baby, sugar daddy situation in her younger days, and that's why because she didn't have a good education when she was young.
Yeah.
And then she went to law school. And she graduated, like only 18% of the people who graduated from her law school failed the bar. She was one of them. So she was a terrible student, even though she has an academic background with both her parents.
Well, I'm here to tell you that I think there's a good chance she never passed the bar, that Willie Brown fixed it for her after she failed it.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if she was still with him, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't she take advantage of that? She's been doing that her whole career. She's only won one election, and then everything else has been an appointment. And so, it's a really impressive case of sailing upwards. I mean, who said it the other day? Tucker Carlson, when he was at the Madison Square Garden historic speech, said, she's only the fact that she's at the level she's at is a testament to how broken our political system. It should never allow someone this dumb to be at their level of power. So,
well, she hasn't gotten there yet.
No, but I mean, vice president, senator, come on, that's pretty significant.
Yes.
And not to mention the Matt Wallace thing. I heard other reports from I believe it was NBC, that they're withholding damaging information that would be very damaging to Kamala Harris because obviously.
Just like they do for Donald Trump, right?
Yeah, right. They get leaks from the DOJ, but.
Or just made up and put on the air.
Yeah, John Stossel did a great. I saw Elon Musk retweeted John Stossel from Reason Magazine, his breakdown of media bias and show how they always show the winning speech of the Iowa caucus and that they didn't do it with Trump and how they give such positive. It was. I mean, we all know they're from,
yeah.
But it was nice for.
John Stossel. I grew up on John Stossel, right? Remember he used to be on 2020 and all that. Yeah. And I was always a fan of his, always. And years ago, when he first started, he's on, what is he, Fox Business? He's on that?
Then, I don't know, but now he does his own independent.
Yeah, okay, he was on, but for whatever reason, I can't remember who he was with. This was years ago. I booked him on the show, just because I grew up with him. And he was not nice to me off the air. He was not, he was so, out of all, I booked him just because I love John Stossel. He was as soon as we were on the air, it was like the John Stossel, but off the air, maybe he was having a bad day. I don't know. But that's why I don't run out of my way to meet. I used to do that, right? I got invited to a big celebrity party last week that I didn't go to. I mean, with household names. It was not a P. Diddy party. It wasn't that kind of party. It was a party of but very well-known people, and I didn't go to it because I don't like meeting people I admire and stuff. And John Stossel was almost one of the worst celebrity meetings I've ever had. There's one that's worse from a washed-up B-level celebrity that's very bad, but it was bad. But I still like him on TV, John Stossel.
Yeah. All right, hey, let me know if you can upload that episode.
All right, I'll look into it. All right, take care. I want to tell everyone about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. We've been talking a lot about those Venezuelan prison gang members in Colorado. You've seen the video, right? They come up the stairs and they got the rifles and they're terrorizing the building. That video footage was caught on a doorbell camera. Did you know that? Absolutely. And you can have a free doorbell camera from Sloman's that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free, customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your windows and your doors, lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Give them a call no matter where you're located. Here's the number: 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. All right, I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 8GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hello, it's Scott Shannon with a quick reminder that the oldies are back on the radio right after 10 this morning, right here on.
If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to go back to the phones after the break. Oh, every line on the board is lit. Every line.
standard My Pillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88 and free shipping on orders.
72,000 watching on YouTube. Oh my goodness.
Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard My Pillow for just $14.88, the lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for.
Sarah.
Turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire,
73,000.
for Joe Thomas to call. Here's the number.
It says 73,00999.
743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or, remember, go to jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Poverty. In my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of
We'll be back right after this commercial. Sometimes during the breaks, I got to rest. I mean, I talk so much between this, the radio, my podcast, YouTube videos. So my jaws get a little tired. I need like a jaw massage.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen to the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Trail Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, a week away from the re-election of the greatest president in American history, the great uniter, Donald Trump. Oh boy, every line on the board is lit. All right, so let's go to those phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I just got to say, I don't know how it was for you, but man, yesterday I was out shopping with my Make America Great Again hat on, and man, I never see so much Trump love. Everybody was giving me a thumbs up, first up in the air, fist bumps. Two young kids come over and said, wow, I'm voting for the first time for President Trump. I said, man, that's great, you guys are smart kids. So everybody seems to be very excited. So I think this is going to be really a
Well, not everyone. If you've seen CNN or MSNBC, there's a lot of depression going on over there.
All right, man. Those guys. And now, if this thing you were mentioning about Kamala Harris comes out, I'm certainly going to turn off a lot of the voters because if the second.
Well, you know, obviously, people that are presidents and vice presidents have sex and go to the bathroom and shower and get naked on occasion. But to have a sex tape, especially. Oh, by the way, Steve Bannon, is he out of prison yet? He's getting out of prison today, and he's gonna. And President Trump has a press conference at 10 a.m. today, and then later in the day, Steve Bannon's going to return to the war room. I cannot wait to hear what Steve Bannon has to say today when he gets out of the gulag. But you know, the thing about the sex tape. If it does exist, and I don't know, this is just, you know, on X, they're talking about it's being shopped around. I don't know. But a sex tape at the time that she was with Montel Williams in the early 90s would involve a big old camera. It's hard to conceal that. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's true because if it is and it comes out, that's really going to make a super landslide.
Yeah, Steve Bannon has been released from prison. He is now our political prisoner. Steve Bannon has been released from federal prison. This is awesome news. I mean, he's you know, President Trump's going to pardon him.
Oh yeah, for sure. They have to stick him in there a little while because they knew President Trump would pardon him.
See, they released him. They released him early in the morning, and so that there wouldn't be TV and stuff waiting. They're trying to lessen his return to the world. Yeah.
It's just amazing how they try to do anything they possibly can to keep it quiet for themselves. Unbelievable, man. The media is so corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, man. You know, you're talking about X. I heard something, you might be probably know better than me, but I heard somebody say that President Trump is saying that he wants to get rid of all income tax and just have tariffs.
Great idea.
Yeah, man, I think that'd be great. I listened mostly all his speeches. I never heard him say that, but I'm wondering if you heard it.
Yeah, this is new. He's been talking about this the last week, and I love the Democrats. Americans should pay taxes, not China, not Europe, but Americans should pay the tax. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they just want their welfare and everything for all these illegals. It's really, I'm like exactly what President Trump says when he came out. Is everybody doing better now than they were before? Nobody's doing better. This is
well, that's not true. That's not true. There is one person who's better off today than 4 years ago. His name is Zelensky.
Yeah.
He's better off.
Yeah, when you say everybody, you mean the majority.
Yes. All right. Hey, Doug, I appreciate the call. He's not quick with the jokes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sean from Tampa.
No, Sean. It's no. Shush. One call per day. All right. One call per day. All right. You've already made that call. I knew it was him. That's why I went. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Jason Metropine from Philadelphia. How you doing?
All right, Philadelphia. What's up?
Hey, I was at the Madison Square Garden the other night. It was great, man. I had a great time. It was all nothing but love. It was a long day of waiting around, but it just got more and more exciting as the night went on.
Well.
And to put this Nazi rally thing to rest, you know, the current Madison Square Garden is the fourth Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, when was this one built? Does anyone know?
It broke ground in 1964.
Well, okay. Well, I'm glad you told me that because I was talking about this earlier. You may have missed it. And I don't think Hillary Clinton's doing too well in the memory category. A political event at Madison Square Garden, Mrs. Clinton and the Democrats tell us is a Nazi rally because of this thing that happened somewhere else almost 100 years ago. The 1992 Democrat convention, where Bill Clinton accepted the nomination for President of the United States with Mrs. Clinton, Hillary right there, was at Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
They have a big mural of it. They have a picture of them accepting it.
There, that's interesting. So, and Al Gore too. So, oh my goodness, does was that a Nazi rally that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton were at?
Man, that must have been a Nazi rally. What are you talking about?
Yeah, political rallies at Madison Square Garden are Nazi rallies. What about Jimmy Carter in 1980?
Yeah, and so the one that the Nazi rally, that they're saying was a Nazi rally in 1939, that building was built in 1925, and it was torn down in 1968 when the current one opened. And it's not even on the same footprint. It was in a whole different part of town, and it's knocked down and demolished and everything.
Yeah.
The current one isn't, they didn't have no Nazi thing going on because it wasn't built ground.
Well, I think Mrs. Clinton has some explaining to do. I'm sure they'll bring her back on CNN. Hey, appreciate the call. All right. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, George Orlando, just want to...
Oh, you're still around.
I'm going to go give and take with you. No yelling. I know, I heard the call. I know you muted it. You do mute people. I thought they were just paranoid group of people out there.
Do you have anything of content? Where's the content? Do you have something to say? It's a busy day. We're a week away from the re-election of Donald Trump. I don't have time to talk to people that have nothing to say.
You don't have time to talk to somebody that's a Trump supporter that's getting ready to vote for Trump?
Well, good for you. Yeah. I want to hear some. Believe me, if you're not going to vote for Trump because of me being rude to you, you're not MAGA.
No.
So I'm waiting for the. Where's the content? Why'd you call?
Because I do have content, but I had something that on that particular why you were muting, and that wasn't my message. I checked it.
You know what else I do? I hang up on people like this. Okay, goodbye. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Paula from New Jersey.
Hey, Paula.
Hey, I just want to tell you something and ask you something. Okay, the tell is, I was watching The Five yesterday, and the liberal young brunette woman.
Yeah, Jessica Tarloff.
That's it. She claims that the Trump, whatever group, had seen the jokes
Mm.
because he wanted to call Kamala the C word.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, give me a break. Listen. Okay, now let's slow down there, okay? It is possible that he gave a routine in advance for approval. That's entirely possible, okay? But I promise you, it wasn't that routine. If he got, once you're out there and you're live, you can do and say whatever you want.
He was probably ad libbing.
Well, in fact, that sexual joke that he made, which was disgusting, and Laura Ingraham had a guy on last night who repeated the joke. I couldn't believe, but anyway, believe me, the Trump people did not approve of that set. And I was watching that. I was putting together some furniture in my living room, and I had that on, and I was just listening. I thought, this guy's disgusting. I can't believe he's here with that vile sexual joke, But if you go back and you watch it, he unedited, okay, not clips. Go watch the whole thing. It's on Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube. He went out there and started telling some jokes, and they were bombing. He wasn't getting any laughs. He even commented on it. So what he started to do was just say crazy, outrageous stuff to get a reaction, because he was bombing on stage.
Okay, listen. Yeah, I know that Trump is far too busy to be looking at jokes. This is ridiculous.
No one in the Trump organization approved of those jokes. Right. Now they may have approved of some jokes, but those aren't the ones he told.
Gotcha. So okay, here's my question. Did you cover the JD interview with Jake Tapper?
A little bit yesterday, but you can comment on it. It was beautiful.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so amazing. JD is such a star. He's going to help us. He decimated Jake and finally held his feet to the fire with this nonsense, spreading that lie, that whole Russian BS from an anonymous source. Like, why isn't anybody holding his feet to the fire, saying, tell us who your source was, explain what this is?
Well, what happened? What happened with Jake Tapper and J.D. Vance is Jake Tapper is a very disturbed man. He is, like many of these people in media, he is consumed with rage, like these jokers on CNN, which I'm going to get to a little later, that last night, okay, with the Muslim guy and the Republican that they threw off CNN. And he's consumed with rage that he's irrelevant and Trump's being reelected. And you've heard me talk about this a lot. When you're on the air, you don't hear me lose my cool. You will rarely hear me really get angry. It doesn't mean I don't yell, but I mean, when you're angry, you lose control of what comes out of your mouth, okay? It has an effect on your brain like being drunk, like intoxication. And obviously, Jake Tapper was filled with rage and anxiety over the re-election of Donald Trump, and he was not his normal self with JD, and JD, who's calm and cool under pressure, filleted him.
It was so magnificent. And I think he's so because he knows he did the wrong thing by spreading that lie and then just standing behind, well, I was just reporting that, there was an investigation. No, Jake, you spread this lie over and
Oh, and did you hear, there's a new poll out that Rachel Maddow's reporting that shows Trump is winning big time against Kamala Harris. Did you hear yesterday, Rachel Maddow, they're saying that there's Russian interference in this election. So if they're talking about Russian interference, they're losing. They're already setting up the excuse.
Pathetic. And of course they are, because Trump's going to end this Ukraine BS, and they're going to get on him saying, oh, he's in Putin's pocket because he's for peace.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, I got to run for the break, but thanks for the call. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 47 years on the radio. Our number, toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s.
Welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe, guys, all right? And if you're on hold, hang in there. All right.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Pigs Show live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet plus a draft beer for just $25. And get tickets now for dinner shows. Let It Be November 8th, Penny Nicks November 22nd, Christmas with the Rat Pack December 6th, and more. The Paddock is your best bet for OTB, shows, and football Sundays with over 140 HD TVs and 3 big screens. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Yeah, I see. He's on line 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
Do you want me to do the audition or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody asked about the podcast didn't get uploaded
Yeah, I heard
yesterday.
that.
I know you recorded it.
Yeah. I didn't know that I was supposed to upload it.
Oh, I don't know who. I don't know who's supposed to do it
Someone
while
else
Mike's
is
gone.
supposed to edit it as well.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. I'm sure when he gets back, he can
Yeah.
do it.
Welcome. Again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk, people. All right. Getting some things queued up for the next segment. Oh, boy. Welcome, Hawaii. Oh, excuse me. Little belch there. My apologies. This is our bottom of the hour break, and then we'll get back to the calls, and I got other issues I haven't gotten to yet. Proud MAGA. Absolutely, Judy. That's awesome.
320-8893. Do you have questions about retirement? Hi, it's Kathy Green, co-host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 7:30 a.m. to the Jupiter Joe Money Show, where we answer all kinds of questions about retirement right here.
Here we go.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. We're going to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Good morning, Barry.
Good morning, Brian. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. You're heading to your Naples office today.
Yes, the Naples office, and we're also doing a seminar there today as well.
I'm surprised you don't set those your Naples appointments for Friday so you can spend the weekend on the Gulf of Mexico.
Actually, we do. I was there last Friday.
Oh, I figured. Okay, yeah, there you go. There you go. So what do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, we often talk about issues related to estate.
Uh-oh. He just hit Alligator Alley. I knew. Yeah, Barry texted me. He's like, I'm just about to. Yeah, oh, we lost you for a second, Barry. I know because I know we lost yourself for a second. So can you start over?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I got you.
Okay. Yeah. So this morning I was going to talk about the importance of getting set up for acting as a personal representative of a widow. That's like an executive, but what they call a personal representative, or a successor trustee of a trust. Because at the Siegel Law Group, we do probation for those of you who have been named as a representative for someone,
Yeah.
we don't know. There's a lot of issues related to it, things you need to do to prepare. There's liabilities involved. So what I'm going to mention today here is if you're in those shoes, if you are named to serve in that role, and especially if you feel like that may come soon where you may need to step into that role, call our office. We will do a consultation with you to go over everything so you'll know what you need to do to get ready, what are the first steps so that you'll be prepared when the time comes.
Yeah, and that's a great relief. I am the designated representative on several people's trust. I guess I'm a trusty kind of guy, and including Steve Kane's trust, by the way. And before you told us about this, Barry, I was like, I don't know what am I going to do? I won't know where to begin. And you offer this free consultation so that everything is done right, and that's a great relief to me as the representative, and certainly the people that appointed me to oversee their trust when they're gone. Listen, it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group when you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. The number, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, have a safe drive to Naples, and we'll talk later in the week.
All right, thank you, Brian.
All right, take care, take care. He's driving across Alligator Alley. And for those that aren't in Florida or from Florida, in South Florida, when you go from the East Coast to the Gulf Coast, there's one road that takes you through the Everglades. It's called Alligator Alley. And when I was a kid, that's where people used to go to dump dead bodies and stuff. But now with all, with all the electronics on the toll roads, there's documents of everybody that goes across. It's not like that anymore. All right, let's go back to the phones. We are 7 days away from the re-election of the greatest president ever, not just of our lifetimes, ever, Donald Trump. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Mark from Jupiter.
Hey, Mark, what's up?
Hey, listen, I was a little concerned about that millennial about an hour ago you spoke with. Being a former U.S. Marine and listening to, obviously he was some kind of a veteran if he was concerned about veterans' issues, but I think it showed to me that this wokeness, this infiltration has found its way deep into the military now. And these people are coming out and they're adopting these ideas, it's lack of patriotism, lack of the USA type of spirit, and it can really concern me. I just want to hear what you thought about that.
First off, I don't think he was a veteran at all. He was desperate to try to think of something that Kamala has done that's positive, and he said something about computer chips and veterans with very little content there. But I don't know what our military readiness is, because the population that we have to recruit from in the armed services is not a manly population. I'm here to tell you. They don't even know if they're a boy or a girl these days, and it's not good. It's not good. When were you say you're a Marine?
Yes, sir.
When were you in?
1993 to 97.
Okay.
38.
Oh, okay. So 93 to 97. So, you've seen these videos, President Trump shows them, of these guys in uniform, and then they're doing drag shows. Back in your day, that was the Clinton era, you would have been thrown out of the service for that, right?
Well, it's absolutely correct. I remember one day we ended up in a bar in Southern California, and it was a special one of those special evenings for special people. And I looked at my roommate and I said, if we're caught in here, we're done. And we literally ran out of that bar, just to give you an idea, what we were up against back in the early 90s.
And now these guys, these Marines and soldiers, are wearing like evening gowns.
I hate to think about it, but I'm sure that's what's happening.
You see in the videos, Trump shows them at every rally, and then he shows the clips from Full Metal Jacket, and shows the difference.
Nothing good about that whatsoever for our future. But we've got a great president about to come back in, so I think
that's right.
we're taking care of it.
All right, appreciate the call. Take care. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631. Yes, you're on the air. Again. You know, yeah, go ahead.
I want to know if she's okay. I'm an old friend of family from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I put you back on because I knew it was you. You're the idiot that called before the bottom of the hour, and I'm going to now. I understand that. I don't care. I understand you're a special person. I knew I that's why I put you on a second time, and I'm still talking to you, right? I understand you're a special person who took one of those short school buses to school. Okay, you're not right. Did you ride the short school bus?
Before you take a cheap shot and hang up on me again,
Well, let me finish my thought. Okay, well, good. Vote for Trump. We need all the votes, even special needs voters. We'll take them. But listen, you can say whatever you want. I'm not going to hang up on you quite yet. You're.
feelings. Yeah, go ahead.
No, but I'm going to tell you this. I took your call a second time. I knew it was you, because I wanted to tell you this. It's one call per day, even for rejects like you. If you call a third time, you're going to go on. If you call a third time, you're going to go on a very long hiatus. And so far as a cheap shot, you called me. I didn't call you, and you know what I'm going to do when you call me, right? So don't complain. You got what you called for. All right. So CNN yesterday. Now, when I start calling you guys, then you can complain about my behavior. CNN last night, the Trump derangement syndrome is pretty heavy. There's this very angry Muslim pundit they have who is going back and forth with a conservative. And, this guy's going around calling Trump and MAGA people Nazis, this Muslim guy. The conservative made a comment to him, and CNN took him off the air live during the broadcast. Let me share this with you. If you're on hold, hang in there. This is the exchange. And I'm playing all of it. Well, you know what? Let me take the break first. I looked at the clock. I want to play the whole thing so you can hear the context, okay? And I'm going to ask your thoughts on what had happened. If you're on hold, hang in there. My name's Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Oh, man.
We're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring...
No, it's not Jittings. They wish. If you're new to my channel, guys, make sure that you subscribe. This is our last break of the second hour. We're here for another hour and 15 minutes.
Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloan's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloan's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283.
You don't want to be called Nazis.
We understand the importance of home security.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver, who called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Women's professional soccer is here.
Join us at the Fort Lauderdale United FC soccer game on November 9th. It's their Rep Your Set 954 night. So dress to impress.
We'll be back shortly, guys. Don't go anywhere. If you're on hold, hang in there.
Fort Lauderdale United Stadium, located on the campus of Nova Southeastern University in Davie on November 9th as Fort Lauderdale United take on Tampa Bay Sun FC.
Get your tickets now at FTL, UTD,
ActicFox.com. Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. No matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show.
All righty, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Okay, so last night on CNN, there was an event between this conservative guy and this Muslim liberal pundit. The conservative's not Jennings. They'd love to, but they took this conservative off the air live on CNN last night. Now, this Muslim guy, he's sitting around calling us and our great President Trump Nazi. And they get into an exchange, and I'm going to play the whole thing because I want people to hear it in context. And I want to hear your thoughts on if this is Trump derangement syndrome and they just freaked out, or was it right to take this guy off the air? Here's the exchange, okay?
See, stop.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone at this table. And people over there, no, by me, I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying...
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that...
You should not...
No,
Okay, so he said, I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. These are, by the way, the people that invaded Israel, murdered and raped women and all of that. And he said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off, which the conservative said, which is a reference to that operation that was something that nobody had ever envisioned before, of Israel using those beeper bombs to take out Palestinian leaders, okay?
Want to be called Nazis? Stop doing it.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone at this table. And people over there, no, by me, I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying...
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that...
You should not...
No,
Did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
On live TV.
I said I hope you...
Let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a supporter
of the Palestinians.
Hamas?
Guys, let me
stop.
Are you?
Am I what? No, first of all,
I apologize.
are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against
Ryan?
Oh, now, so the Muslim guy starts whining. Do you want me dead? He's got an English accent, so it makes his liberal, vile poison sound, a little more credible. The guy didn't wish for his death. He didn't wish anything. It's okay for him to call us Nazis, call President Trump Hitler, but you come back at him, they can't handle it. So during the break, they fired the guy from CNN that made the beeper comment. They come back, and Abby Phillips, who was the moderator of the segment, makes a statement.
We're back here, and before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last segment. First, I want to apologize to Mehdi Hassan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable.
But it's okay for him to call us Nazis and President Trump Hitler. That's acceptable.
We're back here, and before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last segment. First, I want to apologize to Mehdi Hassan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable. When we get this discussion started, you'll see that Ryan is not at the table. There is a line that was crossed there, and it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to us at this network. We want discussion. We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen.
Okay, now keep in mind, they shot our President Trump. They still call him a threat to democracy. They still call him Hitler. They still call him and his followers Nazis. That's acceptable. But if Mehdi Hassan, whatever his name is, you make him uncomfortable, they fire you live on the air. I don't know if this has ever happened on one of the major cable news networks.
We want discussion. We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen here on this show. It's a heated time. We're in the middle of a political season. We are 8 days from a presidential election.
That's right.
Have conversations about what is happening in this country without resorting to the lowest of the lowest kind of discourse.
What, like calling Trump Hitler, calling the Madison Square Garden rally a Nazi rally. That's civil?
I want to address that, and I want to apologize to the viewers at home because we want to be able to hear each other, we want to be able to talk to each other, and we plan to do that in this next segment.
Oh my goodness. What are your thoughts on that? Was CNN right? Were they wrong? What's going on here? 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, hello.
Yes. Hey, Pete.
Brian.
Brian.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so glad that I'm able to get on your show. Listen, I have to ask you something. Do you think, and I'm a MAGA, okay, but do you think it's really responsible to say that this election is over and that Kamala's going to lose?
What do you want me to do? Well, you know, listen, Trump is ahead in every battleground state. He's ahead in the national polls. You know, what do you want me to do? Come on here and pretend he's behind? Rachel Maddow is talking about Russian interference taking place, which is a concession of Kamala's defeat.
Yeah, but I mean, when you say, it's over for, it kind of says to voters, oh, it's over, I don't have to vote.
No, listen. MAGA, listen, we need to have 100 million votes, okay, for Trump. But I don't think celebrating how well we're doing is going to discourage MAGA people from voting. That's just not how it works. I'm not going to sit here and lie to the audience for the next week. You know, I got to tell you like it is. I mean, I'm not going to come here and try to depress you. Oh, we're in trouble. We got to go. We're winning big time. And I'm not going to lie about it. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Okay, hey, it's Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
I don't think they should have fired that guy or whatever, because everybody should be able to speak their mind. But also, I'm voting today, and you know how they have people that you don't know, like what their party affiliation is?
Yes.
Well, I called the Hillsborough County Republican Club, and they gave me a voting guide of who's our people, of who's the Republican.
Well, I don't trust the voter guides. You don't know who's behind them, and a lot of these Republicans are Republican establishment people. You got to just do a Google search on the names. You know, one of the things on the that they're looking to change here in Florida is to require party affiliations on school board races. You don't know party affiliation on school board races. I didn't realize that. They should change it all where judges and school board races, you know what they are. But don't depend on any voter guides. They manipulate people with that. You don't, and you're MAGA. You don't need someone telling you how to vote. You got to do some Google searching and do your own research on that. Okay, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Now, listen, are you and your family drinking toxic water? If you haven't had Angel Water out to your house, good chance you are. You know, Rocky from Angel Water came out to my house. He tested my water, and I was in shock at what me and my family were drinking, cooking with, and showering and bathing with, brushing our teeth with. There's things in the water that I can't believe that it's allowed, but it's there. And Angel Water, what I learned from Angel Water is a water filtration system is not a luxury. It's an absolute necessity. I've had mine for, I don't know, going on 2 months, month and a half. And man, I'm drinking so much water. It's awesome. The water in my house, it tastes like Fiji water. And because it's good. Fiji water is like the expensive stuff. And I'm not only drinking it, I'm bathing in it, right? I'm taking showers in basically Fiji water. It's all the water in my house. All the water in my house is filtered through the Angel Water purification system before it enters the house. You know, your water can have all kinds of things in it, chemicals like chlorine, pesticides, and a bunch of stuff I don't even want to know what they are, okay? Have Rocky come out from Angel Water. They'll test your water at no charge and find out what you and your family are drinking, cooking with, and bathing in. You'll be healthier. You'll save money, too, because all your appliances that use water, like your dishwashers and stuff, that's all water that goes through the Angel Water Purification System before it enters your home. The Angel Water system takes out toxins that other systems do not and gets rid of all those forever chemicals, which are the most dangerous thing in our water right now, according to the EPA. Now, Angel Water, they've got a great offer for you guys. If you mention that you heard about them on the radio, Angel Water is going to give you a free, under-the-sink, reverse osmosis system, which I have, with the purchase of a whole house refiner, which I also have. That whole house refiner filters all the water before it enters my home. All the water in my house, every sink, every toilet, the refrigerator, the dishwasher, the clothes washer, even my garden hoses, is filtered with the Angel Water whole house refiner before it enters my home. Give them a call, 561-899-6585. 561-899-6585. That's 561-899-6585 for Angel Water. All right? You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I just want to say that change on CNN was really something because the lady said, "Oh, we want civil discussion here and an argument," and I couldn't understand anything he said. I mean, the Muslim guy was not allowing the conservative guy to speak. He was run over. I mean, CNN is lying to the public.
The guy, listen, the guy did not threaten him or anything else, okay? It's absurd. I mean, it's okay for him to call Trump Trump's been shot, and they keep telling us he's a Nazi, he's Hitler, and a threat to democracy. That's incitement right there. What they're doing is inappropriate and dangerous. That's okay. But challenge the Muslim guy. They fired him live on the air.
That's incredible. That is really incredible. That's really something. But, you know, I'm glad that that's happening because that way people can see what's happening. People can see it through. That's how a lot of people have been waking up when they see journalists like her and you know, in TV stations like their style, like they're misinforming the public. People are saying, wait a minute, something is going on here. Why would they allow this to happen? Why is she?
It's because they're losing. See, they're losing and they're in a panic over it.
Absolutely. But thanks for taking my call.
Okay, you started speaking Spanish, so I'm assuming you speak Spanish first, English second, because you started in the Spanish and then caught yourself. Okay. Do you think in English or Spanish? Think in English or Spanish?
Both.
Both. Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. All right. Take care. All right. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back with the final hour after this. Be right back, guys.
1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Yes, yes. Welcome back. The third hour has begun. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, my goodness. What a great day, Steve. Oh.
Organize the show so that people speak in a way that they can be understood. It's just the host totally lost control of the show.
Well, what happens on CNN, Steve, is they have a panel with 10 people, 9 liberals and 1 conservative, ganging up on the conservative, and then they fire the conservative live on the air because he's beating them in the debate. That's what happened.
I don't know. I just think that he lost control.
Yeah.
But I thought he lost control of the show.
Well, yeah.
The whole thing that followed after that was an effort to try to gain control, which he couldn't do.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. I mean, especially with that many people up there. You know.
Well, I don't worry about CNN because 7 days from now, the greatest president in history of the United States, Donald Trump's going to be reelected.
I'm kind of curious. They must have state results in New York. Is anybody keeping us abreast of what's happening in New York?
Well, we don't know how the votes have been done. We know over 43 million people have voted already, and Republican turnout is at a record high, and Democrat voter turnout is at a record low, and a lot of those Democrats are voting for Trump. So I think we're doing well.
But I mean, the presidential race, there must be a column for the president.
Well, they're not going to give us the results early. We won't get the results until over a week, till a week from tonight. But you want to take some calls where the phones are ringing? Things are going well. If you're MAGA, if you're now there is. Well, I'm not going to do any recapping. Let's just take some calls. I'll recap as we go on. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is William. I'm calling from suburban Chicago.
All right, suburban Chicago.
Yes, I'd like to know what is it that's so attractive to MAGA about Donald Trump? I hear he has a man who got $1 million from his father, then he got $400 million after his father passed. He started out on third base and trying to steal home.
Oh, that's great. That means he's got good parents. But your question was what's great about Donald Trump? What's your question?
What's attracting you to Donald Trump? The man, the military, he guides the military.
You keep asking questions. When are you ready for the answers? Now, so far as President Trump's military service, are you ready, William? Listen to this. President Trump served in the military for the same amount of time as Presidents Clinton, President Obama, and President Biden. He served in the military for the same amount of time as all 3 of them combined.
Why does it bother you so much about military service when it doesn't matter?
He's collecting Purple Heart medals from veterans, which he doesn't even.
What? He doesn't have any Purple Hearts. You are aware that Bill Clinton dodged the draft in Vietnam, correct? President Clinton?
Saying that he accepted 2 Purple Hearts from service people. I would be ashamed to even try to do that.
No. Steve asked you a question, Chicago. Okay, here's the question, William, from suburban Chicago. I guess that's where you don't get shot in the streets, right? In the South Side. Slow down. Steve asked you a question, and I think it's a good question. I want to hear your answer, okay, from Chicago. Okay? President Trump served in the military for the same amount of time as Presidents Clinton, Obama, and Biden. Steve asked you, why does them not serving in the military not bother you at all, but you're obsessed over Trump having not served in the military?
Well, people claim to be a great hero, and people look up to him as being a hero, and he's really a coward. And also, you look at World War II.
Excuse me, I follow him pretty closely, and I've never heard him claim to be a hero. I've never heard of here.
Could I say this before I go? You meant,
Oh, you're not going yet.
Just answer that question, and then you'll have the floor. Just
Okay.
why does it bother you so much? And it
all I
doesn't
said
bother
is
you
because MAGAs are so patriotic, and here's somebody who didn't do his patriotic duty, and he's
Now, first of all, since when did Democrats believe serving in Vietnam was patriotic? I thought they were baby killers, and you were supposed to do everything you could do to not get drafted. Now, all of a sudden, that's the highest form of patriotism. You must be disappointed. Bill Clinton dodged the draft. Is he a disgrace too, President Clinton, that you voted for?
Yes, I did vote for him. But I want to thank you for giving me the time to talk. And
Don't run away. You're in Chicago. Don't run away. You're not a coward. You're in Chicago.
I agree with you. Clinton didn't serve. Obama didn't serve. There's no war going on when Obama was in office.
Really? What about 9/11? The war on terror, the Gulf War. So only draftees are patriotic? Those who volunteer are not?
Could I please ask?
Axe away. Axe away.
I really appreciate you giving me the time. However, you mentioned Chicago, the things that are going on in Chicago. Yes, I hate the shootings. Yes, I abhor the carjackings. Yes, I abhor all those things. But you look at how World War II videos and see how devastated Europe was over what? Europeans killing Europeans. Nearly 60, 70, 80 million people murdered over a fool like Adolf Hitler.
Correct.
Same type of fool that Donald Trump is.
Really, who is Trump murder? Excuse me, slow down. Kamala Harris has allowed 25 million illegals, many of them murderers, to come into our country and rape and murder our women. When has Donald Trump done that?
He's never finished the wall. Did he finish the wall?
He shut down the border. He was almost finished with it. But what is your thought on Kamala Harris? What is your thought on Kamala Harris bringing in millions of criminals, hundreds of thousands of them rapists and murderers?
She's not bringing in millions.
She's the sitting vice president.
The country of Australia was settled by thugs and criminals. We don't.
Kamala Harris is the border czar.
Is that because they're white Europeans that came from Britain and all?
Oh, you're a racist. You don't like white people.
I'm not a racist. I'm just a realist.
Tell me about. Oh, well, most racists don't think of themselves as racist. They do think of them. Tell me something good about white people.
I have white neighbors. We get along well.
Tell me something good about white people.
I just told you I have white neighbors.
You have white neighbors?
They're very good. They're very nice. I don't know in their own hearts, but...
Oh, but they might be racist. Why do you... Oh, but they might be racist. Why... Let me ask you this. Why are you got this problem with the colonists from Europe colonizing North America. Why... Excuse me, let me ask the question. You said that you live in suburban Chicago, that you are living in U.S.-occupied Native American Indian territory. So why do you not vacate your home and go to a place that was not colonized by Europeans? Why are you living on occupied American Indian territory?
Because I was brought here, my ancestors were brought here.
Oh, your ancestors were brought here. How do you think I, excuse me, I'm here due to no fault of my own. My ancestors came here at some point. I'm not here because of choice. I was born here too. But you are aware, while your ancestors may have been forced here, you could leave. You're not being held captive. You could move to Africa.
Well, if this is going to be an S-hole country, and
oh, okay. And then he see that we had to hit the dump button again. He said he called this an A. Well, you can't say it on the radio. Nobody else heard it but you, Steve, because I dumped it. He said this is an a-hole country. Wow. If you're on hold, stand by. We got to wait for the delay to build back up to take more calls. That caller, Steve, he's never been confronted before by any of these things we brought up to him. He's very confused. That's why he did the SOS of using profanity forcing us to discontinue the call. But we used to have, remember, we haven't talked about Ronald X in a while. Can I tell them the story of Ronald X, Steve? Okay, there used to be this guy named Ronald X. He lived in Miami. We used to have him on the radio all the time in studio. He was with the Nation of Islam, and he always dreamed of moving to Africa. And we had him on the air for years and years and years, and he got some kind of lawsuit settlement and gave him enough money. He moved to Africa and bought a chicken farm. And we didn't hear from him for a few years. And then all of a sudden, you started getting these collect calls late at night. He was trying to get money from you to buy him a plane ticket back to Miami, remember? Yeah, and what he found out, he had a chicken farm, but in Africa, but he's black, but he's an American. He doesn't belong to a tribe. And no one would buy his chickens or his eggs because people only did business with other tribe members. They were racist against him. So he had a chicken farm where he couldn't sell the chickens or the eggs, and he was broke, and he was desperate to get back to America. And you didn't give him the money for the airfare. We don't know what happened to him. But that's what happened. He went to the parent. It's like, who was that guy that defected to the Soviet Union because there was no racism there? And then he had a Paul Robeson experience. Paul Robeson, like our guy from Chicago, he went to the Soviet Union, defected because there's no racism in the Soviet Union. And when he got there, what did Paul Robeson find, Steve? Why there's no racism?
The reason there's no racism in Africa is just...
No, Soviet Union. Soviet Union. Yeah, and then they started discriminating against him, and they only had one guy to discriminate against, and he wanted to come back to America. So that's the way it is. Now, I want to tell you guys, I went to a follow-up appointment for my shoulder from Dr. Appleton. He gave me, I injured my shoulder a couple weeks ago, and the Saturday before last, I went for my laser away pain treatment. And by the middle of the week, after one treatment, my pain was gone. But Dr. Appleton said I should come in for an exam for a follow-up, and I did, and ran into 3 listeners of ours that were getting different treatments on different parts of their bodies. And the weekend before when I went there, I ran into 4 listeners getting different parts of their bodies treated with the laser away pain treatment. And Dr. Philip Appleton has now rid me of pain 6 times. 6 times. And it's amazing. And Dr. Appleton, he says, you need to give up the skateboard, Brian. And I said, why should I give it up? I get hurt, I just come in here and you rid me of my pain. He's like, I'm not an enabler. Get rid of it. Don't do it again. But his laser away pain treatment works, and it works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. Injuries like I've had, arthritis, bursitis, work injuries, sports injuries. I guess my skateboard accidents can be considered sports injuries. Or just moron injuries. Guys that are 53 should not be on skateboards. I think that should be a law. Repetitive motion injuries, neck and back injuries, post-surgical swelling, knee injuries, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain. There's a couple here I don't know how to pronounce. I'll have to ask Dr. Appleton how to pronounce some of these. But basically, any type of pain I've heard of and a whole bunch I've never heard of, the laser away pain treatment works. Appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. Here's his number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Are we taking a break because we moved that thing or not? Yes or no? Okay, we'll take a break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
Oh, man.
Christmas. The standard My Pillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88 and free shipping on orders over $75. So go to mypillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout. My Pillow for just $14.88, the lowest price ever. You can also order by phone 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. So Steve Bannon has been released from prison, Steve. He's out. Nope, they let him out this morning before any news could catch it because they didn't want him to come out to a press conference, but that's okay. And President Trump has a 10 a.m. press conference, which should be a good one. And you know some of these snarky reporters are going to ask about that comedian. It's going to be a particularly good one because Donald Trump, I love it when he duels with these fake news jerks, you know? It's a lot of fun. It's just kind of like practice for when he's back in the White House. There's an allegation being made, Steve, on Twitter, on X, that's being reported by some credible people that there's this is an allegation, okay? We don't know this to be true, but the allegation is there's a sex tape of Kamala with Montel Williams being shopped around. Nothing shocks me, Steve. If we talked about only things that shocked me, we'd talk about nothing. Yeah, so this whole Russian dossier on Trump is of this alleged sex tape that nobody's ever seen with Trump with the Russian hookers in Moscow, remember? So sex tapes are a big deal to the left. This one, if it exists, nobody wants to buy it or run it. That's why it's being shopped around. But she dated Montel Williams over 20 years ago. Back then, everybody didn't have cameras on their phones like they do now. Cameras were big, right? They were like those huge camcorders you had to carry on your shoulder and stuff like that. If there is such a tape, it would be very difficult to record something without the parties knowing about it back in those days. You know what I mean? Because cameras were big. I remember, those big camcorders. You think this would have any negative impact on Kamala in this race if such a tape existed? Really? I don't think, but it would get coverage, though. It would get coverage. Oh, no. If the actual tape was released, it would blow up the internet. The internet would collapse. Well, that's where most people get their news and this show. And then Kamala, if you're on hold, stand by. Did you see what she did with her crowd last night, chanting her name? Oh! She had a group of people. They were all chanting her name, and she got everybody to shut up real quick. Listen, this is crazy. Hold on. Now, can you hear that, Steve? I want to make sure you can hear it. The Kamala? Okay, no, they're yelling, Kamala, Kamala. Kamala's on stage. The crowd is chanting, Kamala, Kamala. Well, okay.
Now I want each of you to shout your own name. Do that. Because it's about all of us.
Oh my goodness, she shut down the whole crowd. I mean, what? Talk about a show killer. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that's just what you want in a president. Someone that with all the wrong instincts and poor judgment. Yeah. You're on the air.
With their fingers on the nuclear.
But yes, exactly. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Oh, hey, Jay.
What's up, Jay? What's up? Why are you so down?
Oh, I don't sound down.
You sure you're okay? Trust me, you sound down. I'm listening.
No, I'm getting dressed to go vote. I have to go vote today. I'll be working on the poll.
Voting for Trump today. Voting MAGA?
Yeah, of course I am.
There you go. See, that Madison Square Garden rally was very powerful. Jay from Jersey's voting Trump.
That was a nightmare. It really threw his...
I can understand how you would feel it was a nightmare. It must have been a nightmare.
It was a nightmare for Trump to get bombed.
What are you talking about? There were 100,000 people there. 100,000 people were there.
Yeah, but guess what? 100,000 people were there. But guess what? All you hear is all the mean and nasty things that were said. All these things people are focusing on is how crazy all of his speeches were. So you think that was good? But see, that's the thing about MAGA. MAGA likes all that mean stuff. Y'all like that mean stuff, don't you?
You don't sound like you're winning. You don't sound like a winner. You sound like you feel like you're losing.
You shouldn't feel like you shouldn't sound like you're having fun.
We do. Week away.
I called in to see how I was feeling, because I feel good.
Oh, we could tell.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You know why I feel great? Because I heard the nun over there call herself a moron earlier. And I said, wow, that fits him perfectly. Fits you perfectly. Yeah. But let me talk about what I called in for.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to figure out how come the moron. You seem to know every single thing that goes on with this campaign, even though you're just a stupid, dumb jockey. How do you know?
A jockey? You called me a jockey? Do you mean like the little guys that ride the horses, or like a disc jockey?
You're probably little anyway. So.
Yeah.
So can I finish? Is that good? Is it okay?
No, this is beautiful. This is your best call ever.
Okay, thank you. So I'm trying to figure out, since you down there in Florida, and the people that was setting up things, and the teleprompter, and his speech was put on a teleprompter, and he read it. How do you know? You telling everybody, oh no, that speech wasn't there. That speech was on.
What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Trump?
About that crazy cracker who said that thing about the Met.
Excuse me. That is, excuse me. The C word is the equivalent of the N word, and only white people can call white people crackers. You have to say the C word. You have to say the C word. While you're calling someone a racist, it's best not to use racial slurs, Jay.
Kind of defeats your
Exactly.
That was selfish of me.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I appreciate the call. So he's against racial slurs, that he uses one. Oh my goodness, Steve, I want to tell everyone about this incredible experience you have had when it comes to your neuropathy from Lighthouse Medical Center. And listen, this was 3 cruises ago. You said, Brian, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go on the cruise. I've got all these neuropathy symptoms. I can't get out of bed. It's been 2.5 years. So we found Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. They have a treatment for neuropathy that works, rids you of all your neuropathy symptoms. And now here we are 2.5 years later, and your symptoms have not returned. And you're about to take our 3rd cruise since you've had that treatment for your neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. So here's what I'm telling you. If you or someone you know and love suffer from neuropathy, I don't have to tell you how bad it is. It's living torture. If they would have given neuropathy to those guys in Gitmo, they all would have sung like canaries. Forget about the waterboarding. I think neuropathy is worse than waterboarding. I've been waterboarded. Remember we did that appearance where I got waterboarded years ago? And the reason that I say it's worse than waterboarding, once the waterboarding's over, it's over. The neuropathy symptoms are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't waterboard you 24/7, okay? You were rid of the neuropathy, and it's been gone for over 2.5 years. So their treatment not only works, it lasts. So those of you that suffer from neuropathy or have a family member who does, call Lighthouse Medical. Remember, no matter where you're located, they can help you, even if you can't make it into the office, and no matter where you are in the United States. Here's their number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
There's only one opening on the board. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Oh, man. Welcome, guys. Again, if you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm broadcasting on a whole bunch of radio stations, and when I'm on the radio, I live stream here on YouTube. And if you're new, subscribe. And everyone who's already subscribed, please like the video if you don't mind.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Picks Show live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet plus a draft beer for just $25. And get tickets now for dinner shows.
Well, that was Trump derangement. You know, Jay from Jersey, that's Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, you know, he's about to lose everything.
Shows and football Sundays with over 140 HD TVs and 3 big screens.
Crazy good. Crazy patriotic, yeah. Crazy good, yeah. That's, I would say, I agree with that. Crazy awesome.
Sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now, 561-244-5600.
Oh.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce has fantastic free-to-attend events all year long. Join us for their next great expo in your area.
Coming up, it's their Senior Lifestyle Health Fair and Expo, Thursday, October 31st from 10 to 3. Shirley and Martin Weissman Delray Community Center, 7091 West Atlantic Ave in Delray Beach.
Yep, and so was Trump. Used to be a Democrat. So was President Reagan. People grow up.
Learn more and see a full list of events at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the
We'll be back right after this commercial, guys. Final 30 minutes.
stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs.
Now, guys, don't forget, in the there's a link in the description to Robert Allen Miltenberg's new book, The Sound of Light. It's a great book. It's about politics, music, science fiction. You can get it for free on Kindle Unlimited, or just $3 on Kindle. The paperback just $9.99. The Sound of Light from author Robert Allen Miltenberg. And there's a link in the description of the video to the book. So go and order it. He's a good guy. He might be in the chat right now. Oh man, I feel bad the way we talked to Jay from Jersey. I mean, he's about to lose everything. Trump's about to win in a week, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, his whole life is, you know. Oh my goodness. Trump derangement syndrome sufferers. You know, Dr. Lemaski needs to put together that Trump derangement syndrome support group for after the election. Have to rent out the Panther Arena or something, you know. Exactly. Madison Square Garden, you know, and stand just there and do therapy to 20,000 at a time. Steve, we're not gloating. We're not gloating. What we're doing is you know what this is like? This is like VE Day or VJ Day, you know, and you millennials and Gen Z don't know what the hell that is, but the old timers know. You know, that's when we won World War II, okay? This is that exciting. Our country has been taken over by... Steve, yesterday, I told this to Richie the bus driver before you were on. On Sunday, before the Trump rally, before Trump came out, I went to the pet store. And the cashier had a thick mustache like Tom Selleck and huge boobs. I'm not kidding. I mean, what's happened to our country? Right? You know, I saw that press. Did you see that press conference that President Trump had the other day with that young mother of that little girl who was raped and murdered by Kamala's dreamers? I mean, my goodness. So I don't think we're gloating. America is winning, right? We're winning with Trump. It's more than just about this election. Our whole civilization is on the verge of being wiped out. Yeah. Yes. All right. You want to take some calls? All right, let's go. I think we might have hit a record with the dump button today. The Trump derangement syndrome sufferers have been big on the profanities. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, excellent. I didn't hear a beat, man. Anyway, my name's Steve. I'm calling from Chester County, Pennsylvania. How you doing? Steven, how are you doing? I'm hanging in there.
You called us. What's on your mind?
I was going through this, and I seen you guys on the air, and I had a call, and I got to tell you a little story. I hope you got a few minutes.
Well, tell us the Reader's Digest version. We got a full board of calls and.
Okay, so real quick, in 2020, I went to
Okay, I'll answer your question right now. Laura Trump is in charge of the RNC and has everything under control. You got nothing to worry about. Okay, all right. These fake MAGA, Steve, trying to discourage our turnout. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh. Swell? What are you, the beaver? Swell. Oh my goodness, swell. No. I said, and then he said, yeah, I'm voting for. That was called sarcasm on his part.
As for the panel beating up on the one guy, the British Muslim, getting the guy fired because of one comment, just goes to show the full display of hypocrisy. Okay, they can do what they want to say, but when it comes to them and their little touchy feelings, all of a sudden, I mean, so extreme. Look what happened January 6th, right? They cut the mic.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, IB. Oh my goodness. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, is it me?
Sounds like you.
I'm here. Hey, this is Paul from Chicago. How's it going?
All right.
Hey guys, so before you rush to the dump button, I heard you just say that you ran into a person with a mustache and boobs at the pet store?
Yes, they were the cashier. They were transgendered. They were transgendered.
Yeah, they were transgender, and you said, what is this country coming to?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so triggered by a transgender person? That's my question.
Well, I wasn't triggered. I was not triggered. I felt sorry for the person.
You said, what is our country coming to?
Well, I am not triggered. Are you high? Are you high? You're laughing. Oh, okay. Okay, you can repeat it 3 more times. I'll wait. How many more times you want to repeat it before I answer?
I hope that by the third time your audience gets the message of how pathetic you are for being so upset by something so trivial.
Do I sound upset?
You brought it up on your radio show.
I don't. Yes. You're owning me? You're owning me? You owned me? Well, I don't know about that because that's fine. Oh, okay. Another F-bomb. We had to hit the dump button again. I was waiting for him to get all that stuff off his chest so I could respond to him. But if you're on hold, stand by. I have to wait for the delay to build back up before we take any more calls. He said the F word. I had to hit the dump button. Wait till next Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Well, while we're waiting for the delay to build back up, can I tell people about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing? We just got hit by a hurricane in Florida, and I got to tell you, this may be one of the most devastating hurricanes we've had in Florida in my lifetime because there was so much damage far away from the storm, right? I've never seen that before. And it's still rainy season, hurricane season here in Florida. Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, who gave you a new roof, Steve, he rebuilt your whole house, and, the job he did on your roof is amazing. Your house is now the showcase house, the showpiece of your street. I mean, he just did a fantastic job. Really raised the bar on roofing in your neighborhood, no doubt about it. But he's a good MAGA guy, Tom Laporta. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need a simple repair, he'll do it. If you need a new roof, he'll do that too, of course. And he works on every type of structure, from small single-family homes to huge mansions, commercial buildings, municipal buildings, schools, churches, warehouses, office buildings, HOAs, and condos. And he can handle the job of any size. if you have a condo community that's one building or 200 buildings, Tom Laporta can handle the job. Give him a call. And the number that we give out is his cell phone. He only gives his cell phone out to our listeners. If you go to his website and stuff, they have the office number. But if you listen to this program, you get Tom Laporta's cell phone, which means that you go right to the top of the line, okay, of the list of getting your roof repaired or replaced. His number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. All right, let's go back to our phones. The delay is re-engaged, Steve. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, you got to turn down the radio. All right, dude. Call back. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Frankie.
Hey, Steve, before I get on my rant, we go way back. You remember Jacqueline Sable, hair farming?
Hair, like on the head. Hair farming.
You and I went to this thing where they rub this stuff on your head, supposedly grow hair, and you and I, for about 5 minutes, just looked at each other and started laughing. This snake oil thing. And anyways, I went to get it.
I don't remember that. You remember that one, Steve? I guess whatever they put on your head destroyed your memory of it.
Yeah, but anyways, I did early voting in Pamela.
Mm.
You talk about a Democrat mob, like that descends upon you when you go in to vote. So, long story short, this woman, she hands me here, this is a sheet, I want you to look at it. It was all, Democrat things. I said, thanks. This is, I needed something so I know who not to vote for.
Oh, there you go.
Listen, but when I said that, just joking around, the vitriol, I thought I was going to get pummeled. Well, what do you mean you're not going to vote? What are you, one of those MAGA guys?
That's right. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland. Did they point at you and go, ah? Yeah, all right. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. All right, we're going to take there's only one opening on the board. Steve, if you think they're nuts now, wait till a week from tomorrow, the day after President Trump's reelected. Don't forget President Trump's press conference, 10 a.m. Eastern time today. All right, we'll take our last break and be back. All right, and on the line, we have William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals looking incredibly strong again, very strong. Again, touching our all-time high overnight of $2,758 the ounce. Yesterday, we saw gold pull back just $6.10, closing out the day at $2,741.80. Silver was down 2 cents at $33.65. Platinum gained $9 yesterday, closing at $1,032. And palladium still moving higher and higher every day, up $21 at $1,200 the ounce. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $2,739 to $2,758, which I said is our all-time high. Right now, we're at $2,751. That's up $9.20. Silver up 50 cents at $34.15 the ounce. Platinum up $18 at $1,050, and palladium gaining another $22 at $1,222 an ounce. So the metals are looking incredible, and the economy and the world conditions tell us we've got to keep buying the precious metals. It's the only protection you've got against soaring deficits that nobody's even talking about, and incredible worldwide conflicts that just tell you that you have to be secure in something that's lasted for 5,000 years, and it's gold.
Absolutely. And, there's a lot of things I love about gold. It's pretty and it's money. But, can you tell people, William Youngerman, about fractional gold? Because one of the things I love about gold is there's really gold that people can buy whatever their budget may be, right? So can you tell people what fractional gold is, what forms and values it's available in as well?
Yeah, we have gold in sizes of 1 gram bars all the way up to kilo bars, which is 32 ounces. 1 gram is 1/30th of an ounce of gold, so you can afford just about any amount, and it goes up to coins we have in the 1/10 ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, and of course 1 ounce size formats. So there's something for everybody in the gold arena, and there's no reason why you can't put a few dollars, maybe weekly or monthly, into gold and silver.
Yeah, and the fractional coins, the 10 ounce, the quarter ounce, the half ounce, those come from the major mints like the United States. And what are some of the other mints that have those coins?
Yeah, we have the U.S. Mint, the Royal Canadian Mint, the Australia's Perth Mint. We have the British Royal Mint. We have China. We have just about all of the different countries that manufacture Philharmonics from Austria.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know those came in gold fractionals, the Philharmonics. I did not know that. This is a cool thing, because when we talk about, these are record high prices that are beautiful and awesome, and of course the prices are given out in an ounce. But if you get 10 of those, this is amazing. You get 10 of those 1/10 ounce gold coins, you've got a whole ounce of gold. I mean, and it happens quick. When you start buying that fractional gold. Give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, on the first floor of the Bank of America building. And you can find both William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, back after this. All right. We've heard from a lot of Democrats today, Steve. Each one of them has been in a different stage of delusion and grief. I mean, there's been some pain. Yes. I have compassion. I just, most every single one of them, though, I've had to use the dump button. Except for 2. I've had to use the dump button for all but 2 of the liberals that have called today. They have no class. Yes, that's right. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Glenn from Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi. What's up?
Oh, not much. Hey, I just wanted to say that thing in Madison Square Garden was great. I started watching it about the 6th, and it was just fun. But I've already voted in September 2020, the 23rd of September, and I got my daughter to finally vote yesterday, and she sat in line after that MAGA event, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
In line to early vote. It was great.
The early voting's important. The thing that talk about, President Trump and Lord Trump say vote early, vote early. The Democrats, their whole strategy has been in the early voting, okay, for years. This year, we have record high Republican turnout for early voting, historically low turnout for Democrats, and a lot of those Democrats are voting for Trump. And the early voting is important because if we only vote on one day, the Democrats are already millions ahead. And for us to catch up and surpass in a single day is pretty tough. So it's so awesome that so many MAGA people are voting early.
Oh, it's great. It's a great thing. They're in an uproar. They don't know what's going on right now. They're good. And you've had to dump everybody that's called in today because they're cooking their brains.
Yes.
Their brains, Brian.
Well, did you hear Whoopi Goldberg yesterday? She said Trump is going to, if you are not white and you're married to a white man, Trump is going to take you away from your husband and replace you with a white woman. She said that on The View yesterday.
And that's why I don't listen to that crazy group of women on there because she's an idiot.
Well, you know what happened? What happened with The View yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. It was their first day on the air after the Joe Rogan interview, which has been seen by tens of millions of people. And Joe Rogan brought up how Whoopi Goldberg in The View used to love Trump and praise him on television. And Trump told a story about how Joy Behar used to beg him to come on the show. And they couldn't respond. That interview was on Friday. They had to wait till Monday to respond. And all weekend long, they were flipping out. And they went on the air live yesterday and just lost it. They just had complete meltdowns.
Oh, yeah. By the way, how many viewers are you at right now, Brian?
Oh, on YouTube, there's 138,000 people watching us right now on YouTube.
Congratulations, Brian.
I wish I would have dressed up today. I didn't even shave this morning, Steve, and there's 138,000 people watching. Shaving? I stand corrected. It's 139,000 watching right now. Well, I got to shave in the morning. I appreciate the call. Take care. Let's see. Who's next? I'm taking these calls in the order in which they were received. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, so I am involved in the election system over.
All right, one call per day. One call per day, okay? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Pete from Waxahachie.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, I had a quick question. If all the
Here we go.
is happening, but it's all voted by electoral college, what's the point of the popular vote?
Because you talk about the popular vote nationwide or in the state?
I'm just going to
Okay. Really? You serious? Okay. In the national, the popular vote nationwide isn't that meaningless. It just will show the direction of the country. In the state, when you vote, you're voting for electors in the electoral college and telling them how to vote as your representative. That's how it works. That's why it's important. No. When the electors vote as they're told to vote by the voters of that state. There hasn't been a broker convention in anyone's lifetime that's alive today. Okay, all right. See, there's all this fake MAGA going around trying to discourage people from voting from all kinds of reasons. Everyone should vote. Let's see, who's next in line? To believe that a grown man doesn't understand how the Electoral College works is, come on, Steve. Really? They're listening to this show, and they don't know.
That's a different issue.
Yeah.
But, you know.
We have an educated audience.
Overall education, when it comes to civics.
Oh, that's true.
And stuff like that is.
Yeah, they don't teach that anymore.
Minus infinity.
Yes, that's correct. But they all know who Harvey Milk was. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Steve and Brian, good morning. It's JJ from S.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, Steve. Great show this morning. I mean, it's sort of kind of good, the bad, and the ugly, but the bad and the ugly with the TDS at levels that are just entertaining. Let's just.
If you could hear the things I've had to dump today, you wouldn't believe. Oh, you on YouTube? You can hear on YouTube. Yes, you can hear. Yes.
I hear a few, and I must say it's a pleasure to get that little inside baseball right there.
Mm-hmm.
The first caller got me thinking, very early on, or not the first caller, I think it was in the first part of the show, where he was like trying to beg you to tell him how to get him to vote for.
Oh, the millennial, what an idiot! Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I just started thinking, I thought of Bruce Willis in the movie where I see, dead people, and I'm thinking that
Oh yes.
could do a movie. You guys could do a movie called We Hear Dumb People. I think it would.
Oh, I like that. We. By the way, have you seen the new M. Night Shyamalan, Steve? Oh, it's good. I just watched it over the weekend. What's the name of that movie? Do you know the name of the movie? No. Oh, it takes place during a concert, and it's about a serial killer. It's really good. Fear. It's called Fear.
I saw it and I was somewhat disappointed.
Well, there was no twist in it. There was no twist in it, I must say. But I thought it was good. No. No. It's oh boy, I just forgot his name.
Makes some of the best films and some of the worst.
Did you see Old? Did you see M. Night Shyamalan's Old? The one on the beach? Oh, that's a good one. That's got a twist in it. Anyway, enough of M. Night Shyamalan. He's probably a Democrat.
I wanted to mention real quick this Mehdi Hassan guy. This guy is I saw him in a debate, the monk debates takes place out in Canada. With Douglas Murray. And Douglas Murray, I love Douglas Murray. Wiped the floor with him. But Mehdi Hassan is he's the epitome of hate. He's sort of people say wolf in sheep's clothing. This guy is a big gigantic bag of crap in sheep's clothing. He's horrible. He's so anti-Semitic and
well, see, it's okay for him to sit around. It's okay for him to call Trump a Nazi, all the MAGA people Nazis, Trump Hitler, and of course support the people that invaded Israel and raped and murdered women and took them as sex slaves. But you challenge him, they fire you on the air at CNN. Could you imagine on September 12th something like that happening on September 12th? I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you too, Brian. The Tucker chair dance was pretty interesting.
Oh, you watched him on Dancing with the Stars?
Just like, it looked like he was a lost at a bachelor party. He thought maybe he was in the wrong chair, but God bless the guy. He's pretty. I love him. He's smart, but he's got the rhythm.
By the way, that joke I gave you that he looked like a stripper in Vegas, that wasn't my line. Tucker Carlson described it as that himself. He said it himself. Yeah. So I did. Yes, I know he's good. All right, take care. I appreciate the call. Don't forget, if you go to mypillow.com, the MyPillow with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, is just $14.88. $14.88. I paid $65 for mine 10 years ago, but now you can get it for $14.88 with our promo code Kane at checkout. They make great Christmas gifts. If you've got grandkids, buy all the grandkids MyPillows. Free shipping on all orders over $75, and you can use our promo code Kane, Kane, site-wide on all the specials at mypillow.com. There's only one opening on the board, Steve, and we are out of time. So if you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And if you're on hold, you'll be first in line on tomorrow's program. But this is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Steve Kane is here. My name is Brian Craig, and this is Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. Thanks for tuning in. Great calls today. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care.
WSFM.
All right, guys, listen. Thanks for watching. Again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's sub, please like the video, okay? I'll have a new podcast today. Look out for it. Take care. See you later.